your shit, brother.
Hello. What's good, everybody? We got a very special one we're doing. It's Friday, and I'm loving the show, so I said, what's the best way to bring this one out? We got to go back in time and grab our brother out of retirement, drag him onto the stream, and see what's good with the Irish Wildling himself. What's good, my brother? How you been?
My brother, first of all, humble salute to Sir DJ of 1-1, the man with the theories, and we all know. Man, it's been years since I've done this. I'm very, it's like, where am I going with this? It's DJ, you reached out about this crazy show. How can you say no to DJ 1-1? One of the coolest, nicest people you'll come across on this. And as I say, I am retired, but to be able to talk to you about something that you like to do, that you've introduced me to, fresh, is I'm absolutely humbled to be a part of it, brother. And it's good to do this with you.
Oh, we got Jake out there saying, what's up, Wildling? Got JD in the chat. What's good, JD? Got a name I haven't seen before. What's up, Gareth? Good to see you. Welcome. Absolutely. Oh, man, I don't know. What's up? Just a general overview. Like, how just crazy off the walls did you, are you into this show, or are you like, this is just completely fucking nuts?
Well, first of all, shout out Jake as well, long time no see. Shout out to the brother JD, and as well Garrett. Garrett's a good friend. He's one of my ex-colleagues as well. He got fired because I'm amazing, and it's hard to match these levels. But what's good, everybody? And DJ, on your point there, you said it to me like 2 nights ago. I was like, give me the premise of what this is. And you told me, I was like, sounds interesting, not my cup of tea. But you asked me, and you know what? Upon watching the first 3 episodes, I enjoyed it. It's, as I said, it's like Deadpool. If it was a TV series, it's got that Deadpool-esque. And I'm like, it's Deadpool spliced with 80s nostalgia music and then brought into a modern day kind of feel. Like that's what I get. If you like Deadpool, you'll absolutely adore this show. I like Deadpool, and the show. Like, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have watched it. And so far, I'm still early days, but I'm enjoying it, man. It is not PC, and it offends everybody, so I do enjoy it.
Absolutely. Yeah, it is out there on the limb. It doesn't care. It knows what it is, and it just leans into it. And I absolutely love that. What's up, AK? I hope you're feeling better soon, and definitely get well. Thanks for stopping in. Oh, but man, listen, we're just going to get it started. We're going to talk about the first 3 episodes because that's how they dropped it. They dropped the first 3 at once, so we'll just get it started like that. And this is Peacemaker episode 1, A Whole New World. And right out of the gate, we see how vain Peacemaker is. Like, when he doesn't recognize how lucky he is to be alive, he just wants his x-rays to show better definition. Like, the way he looks at life is just completely twisted. Like, you just basically, I know, just a quick up, Johnny hasn't seen the last Suicide Squad, so he didn't see all the crazy stuff that happened in there. But basically, he had a building fall on him, so he's lucky to be alive. And all he looks at when he sees the X-rays is how it's not showing his body and his muscles good enough. Like, he puts a lot of work into his small muscle core groups. Like, right out of the gate, what are you thinking of this character?
I wanted to ask you, and shout out to AK as well. You can't say pack without the A to the K, and it's like, what happened in that movie? You see, right? Because it gave you a quick prequel at the start, going, well, this is what happened with him originally, and it kind of gave you like a 60-second or like a 100-second like prelude. And in the movie, when he got shot in the neck, like, was that him dead in the movie? Like, they obviously brought him back to make the series, but when you watched that as a movie, we were like, oh, he's dead, and then that story carried on like in the movie.
And it's a whole thing. Yeah, exactly. And it's a whole thing that started early and wasn't supposed to be. I don't want to give you any spoilers because eventually through this, you're going to have to go back and watch the Suicide Squad, the second one.
I absolutely will.
Yeah, it's so much better than the first one, night and day, like completely different. And it's definitely worth a watch. It was very good and entertaining in my opinion.
It's kind of what I'm doing is essentially, it's like I'm reading Lord of the Rings without reading The Hobbit. It's like we know about the ring, but we don't know how the ring got there. So exactly. Is that what it is? Okay.
Exactly. Great callback. But the nurse releases him, and he instantly asks the janitor, like, who he smoked weed with before, if he's cool and trustworthy. And it was funny because most people would be nosy and say, yeah, sure, but just to hear what it is. But Jamal actually says, no, man, like, which is, in its own way, kind of makes him trustworthy, no?
Well, he was saying, wasn't he? He was ex-MIA. He was like, the more you sweeping, it's like, because I'm really bad at this. You know, so I was like, he's kind of telling him the truth. Like, he's telling him straight up, don't tell me a secret. I can see him throwing him under the bus for comical reasons in the future, because he literally said, don't trust me, and then followed by, can I trust you? And I was like, yeah, okay.
It's like, by being honest, kind of makes him more trustworthy in the end anyway. But yeah, that little back and forth with the like fuck Aquaman was amazing. It
was great. It was great. And also as well, when he's trying to explain himself, I think it's Jamal, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Or is it Jamil? Like Jamal. So it's a Jamil. what a porn. Is that his name? Jamil or Jamal? I'm like, man, Jamal is just more prominent. Forgive me if I'm wrong there, but what I liked about that was when he said, oh yeah, wait, you're a racist? And all, you know, for someone watching it like me, where you haven't got a clue, they use that dialogue well, because you're like, wait, he's racist, and then he's trying to, and you're like, oh wait, maybe it's just being tarnished there. Like, I like that, because I'm watching that like as a legit newbie fresh. I'm like, wait, is he a racist superhero, and that's his thing, and it's going to be comedy? But he's kind of like, no, I'm not. And I was like, okay, good angles there. It kind of let you know what you were in for. Going, okay.
Exactly.
You're going to be accused of that shit.
They let you know early, no guessing. Like, this is what it's going to be. And like I said, they just lean into it, which makes it all the better. And it was so gross. Like, all his clothes were still covered in all the guts and blood. Like, I'd have been like, do you have a gift shop? Go grab some sweats or something. That was just the way they do the little things in the show like that. Like, he's just still walking out. Like, nobody would have cleaned his clothes. That's just crazy.
It's a great pickup. Like, and it's like, does he have any, like, I'm only 3 episodes in, but like, does he have any other clothes? Actually, I don't think I've seen him wear any other clothes so far.
That's his outfit. That's the way he does it.
Okay.
Oh man, I'm telling you, that is just him. And he knows technically, like, he should be heading back to jail, but no one's there, so he feels like he may be off scot-free. So he just jumps in a cab and celebrates his freedom. Like, that was pretty tight. Like, if you thought you had to go back to jail and thought you're a free man, how amazing! You'd be so happy.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you that tracker in your head didn't blow you up. You got shot in the neck, like, you know. Like, Suicide Squad have always done that with AKA villains, you know. They put the bomb in their head. I'm like, no, you got X-ray because you got shot in the neck or whatnot. It's like, there was no mention of the bomb. So as soon as he sat in that taxi, I was expecting the taxi to like drive him to, you know, some hidden, like, you know, hidden military shit. Like, but that obviously that didn't happen, and he took his helmet. It's pretty funny. Like, what's in the bag?
Oh, Neri says, what about the soundtrack? The soundtrack is amazing. The music in this, the old school.
Phenomenal. The intro song, is that an original song, like, from back in the day that I'm ignorant to? You know, their opening song, like, that they break out with, that's a good song. Like, or is that just wrote for the show? Like,
that's a good question. I have absolutely no idea. I figured it was just written for the show, but now that you say, it could actually be an old school one that they pulled up and used. I don't know. I always thought it was original for this, though.
Sounds too good to be original. So if it is original, then fair play. The soundtrack is phenomenal. Sorry, I'm with that. That actually goes in on. I wrote notes, DJ. I'm a change man. I try not to course as much and be more chill. But I write little notes, and, you know, we'll touch upon the sound, how good the soundtrack is as it goes on. Phenomenal.
Absolutely. And then we see Kia walk into a perfectly nice home complaining that it's not James Bond enough. I was like, you're getting a free house and you're already complaining? Like, what's up with you? And then how sad was Peacemaker when he had to give up his helmet to pay for the cab? Like, he's just sitting there all sad on the curb, had to give up his number one piece.
I love that, just how not only did he give it up, but like the taxi man wore it. You know, just drove on. Like, it's very well shot in the sense of, rather than him handing it and, you know, an angry, like, comedic scene, he just kind of, what's in the bag, and it kind of just cut to the taxi man has the helmet on and drives off, where it just kind of lets you know really quickly, and he's just standing there going, that. You know what I mean? And that's a shout out to the music, though. Sorry, because it was said, because remember when he steps out of the hospital and the song is kind of slow, it's like, and then when he hits the title, like, it's nice, and it's very fresh to me, so that's why I can pick that little stuff, like. But yeah, 2 shots.
Oh, absolutely amazing. Oh, but yeah, like, he looked like a bully just stole his lunch money when he had to give up that helmet. Like, why not just go grab something else out of the house? Like, that's another thing. Like, why not think, you know, big picture? Just go grab some money out of the house. He sees where you live. You're not running from him. Like, just go grab something else. You're going to give up, like, your number one piece. That just killed me.
Sorry, DJ, but you're talking about some dude, yeah, who just sat in an X-ray and he wanted to post it on Instagram, and he was like, my muscles could be better. I thought the little work on my muscles. You're giving him credit to think that far ahead. Like, come on. You know what I mean? Too much credit. You're giving Peacemaker too much credit there.
J. Cruz says, slow down, talk slower. We're about to pass what he's already seen. He's just not watching it. That's clear. Oh, this class. How have you not seen Peacemaker yet? Oh, man, this show. Yeah, that's fantastic.
I'm a noob. I'm only 3 episodes in because of this man. Well, are you over here? You're over here, aren't you? This man.
It's funny how we see the janitors say Peacemaker couldn't be a hero because he's too bulky. And then time and time again throughout this, we're going to see like just how nimble he really is. Like more of a bull in a china shop than a graceful superhero. So he actually like called that early. I mean, just the little tiny callbacks in this show are just amazing.
When we touch on episode 3, I'd like to debate that. There was a good scene in that where I would debate that nimble question. But we'll get to that. So he's going to his home, isn't he? He's carrying on. It's good. It's good stuff. Great music track. It's like, is he a racist? Is he not? Is he just a dumbass? This is where we're at.
Still trying to feel it out. And how big were the balls on Economos just walking right in and helping himself to Peacemaker's food in the fridge?
Man, they were 4 years old as well or something, wasn't it? It was gone off. That was gone off. But how ballsy are you when another man tells you, like, we have a bomb in your head, we can blow you up at any point, then you have another chick. They're all talking down to him. Like, he's just come out, you know. If anything, you relate, regardless of his character, you kind of relate. So he just came back, like, and it's like, yeah, we have a bomb in your head. Like, so I wouldn't give him credit. I wouldn't give I call him Doybeard. That's his name. I would not give him any credit for any of that because he just kind of came in at the end of it. You know, it's kind of like Tywin in Robert's Rebellion. You know, you came in at the end of it and you're trying to look good.
Oh, one says Johnny Noir, bringing it in old school style in the black and white. I love it.
That's what it was. Shout out. That is exactly what it is. And it's exactly. I went in color before we went with DJ. DJ can confirm. It's like, look, I can go in color, no problem. It's like you have to bring it back.
Absolutely, old school and classic. Oh yeah, Jake, this has kind of been in the works for a couple weeks, so yeah, I didn't want to say it and have it not happen. So yeah, that's why there wasn't too many shout outs or letting anybody know, kind of just up on the fly. But it was funny when we meet Myrn and he was introduced to the squad, to Peacemaker, when he got to Leota. She gives him this long, unnecessary speech. Like, that was kind of awkward. Like, I don't know, this Myrn character, I think they tried to show us this Myrn character was off right out of the gate. Like, there just seems something off about this guy.
Yeah, he's kind of like a silver version of what's a Weller, isn't it? I would say Weller. Forgive me. Yeah, I'm not. I love DC, but I'm not. It's Weller, isn't it? Amanda Weller.
Yeah, Amanda Waller.
Waller, yeah, I see. I'm one better off. I failed. I got a 2-part question wrong when it was a 50-50 chance. Oh, genius.
But
he's colder.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I'm just saying he comes across at that stage like he's colder. Like, it's like you're the bronze version or the silver version of what she is right now in this show. It's like, because you still kind of have to have that control. So it's like, well, we can't have her come in and dominate it because we want to keep that for later seasons if it ends up goodly.
And it's so crazy that we find out that Leota is actually Waller's daughter, and like Waller's just so hardcore and like strict and crazy mean and had no remorse for anything. And then this girl comes in all awkward, giving that awkward speech, like all weird. And she like even tells herself like, I know I'm still talking. This is weird. I need to shut up now. But it's just like we can see that they're completely, totally different people.
Yeah, she's very likable and empathetic straight off the bat. Do you know? She's even with her other half. It's not talking about their kid and it's like, I'll do this and I'll get out and all. Yeah, absolutely.
And then you get Peacemaker, like he just doesn't even hear half of what's being said. He just zones in on wanting a jetpack. Like, you're not fighting a Mothra still. My desire for a jetpack still remains. Like,
yeah, because he heard it wrong, wasn't it? It's like, am I about to fight Mothra? And it's like, I actually do love that dynamic when they're talking. And the whole point, he's like, no, we're not fighting Mothra. And it's like, but if I'm fighting Mothra, I need a jetpack. And he's like, you would need a jetpack. Like, he's always being spurred on by someone else. And then the main point is like, we're not fighting Mothra. He's like, yeah, but a jetpack would be cool. Yeah. He's annoyingly likable. Like, it's like, you don't want it, but you do. You know, it's like, yeah, okay.
Exactly. And they have to lean into it because he was extremely unlikable in the movie. Like, once you see that, like, he was not a likable character at all. So they really had a lot of work to do to kind of flip the script and make him bring it back.
Really? Like, he didn't have any, like, redeemable comedy?
No, he is. I mean, he's likable, but he's just, you love to hate him. Like, he's just that character that's just bad in every way. So you know how this guy's terrible. He's horrible in every sense of the way. So to bring him back to actually make you empathetic and like him, they had some work to do in this series, and the fact that they did it so flawless and easily is amazing. Gareth wants to know what kind of beer you think would pair best with this series.
I'd say, let's see. I had to watch it all sober so I could take it in because there's too many quick jokes. Do you know what I mean? If you're a lightweight, I'd say a cup of tea. But if you can, I don't know. Gareth, you know, I'm not a man for drinks. DJ, like I would say vodka as a simpleton. I was like, you're a connoisseur when it comes to the alcohol game.
What I'm not a connoisseur of is comic books. I know that Jetpack had something to do with him in the comics. I think he had a real jetpack in the comics, so that's kind of why they leaned into that one. But yeah, as far as the references, I noticed they give references to super obscure superheroes that most people have never even heard about, like Batmite, the reference to Batman or whatever. So yeah, they take some deep dives on this one. Absolutely ridiculous. Oh, Neri says, do you think Harcourt and Peacemaker may get together? You think they're going to end up smashing at some point?
I've only watched episode 1 to episode 3, so at the point of episode 3, I'd say 100% yes. That's where I'm at, and all I know. It's like, yes.
Oh, he said that's a politician answer. He said, how about we ask the pro? Oh, if you're going to get a beer, you might as well grab something smooth and easy and absolutely not put that in the back and then grab something that's going to smack you in the face like a bitter IPA or something. I think would go best with this one.
Connoisseur. I don't know what he said. A bitter IPO. Sounds like a villain from Marvel.
You want something bitter that's going to kind of disagree with you a little bit in this show, but in the end, it ends up tasting really nice. That's what would pair best with this show, I think.
It's going to be like every argument I have with you.
Peacemaker showed us that in the first meeting that he doesn't actually like killing. Like, he looked deflated and bummed when he learned that they just wanted him for the wet work. So that's another thing. Like, in the movie, he's just this mass killer that, can take any weapon, and he's just the ultimate bounty hunter, basically. So again, trying to flip the script and show that he actually doesn't want to do that is just completely 180 degrees the other way.
He seems like the impression I get from him is he seems like a 17-year-old who loves just shooting guns, which, like, if people love that as a hobby, like, have at it. And that's how he gets excited by that. That's how he seems like a 17-year-old in high school who just wants to get laid and shoot guns. Like, I'm like, it's not the worst thing. It doesn't make him a villain, in my opinion. Do you know, that's the impression he gives me. But he's not a 17-year-old. He's a grown man. So I was like, what are you doing?
And one of his famous sayings that he just says over and over and over again is, he loves peace, and, he doesn't care how many women, children, or innocents he has to kill to get it.
Oh, that's a wall. Yeah, it's an absolute wall. You can even tell that they go out of their way to kind of. He does not mean or know what he's saying, actually. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So we already know he doesn't have any money. So when Peacemaker walked into his dad's house and heard that we hear that the Fox parody station talking about below their lying liberal faces like extraterrestrial beings that want nothing other than our civilization to fail. Like, is that when you're just watching this first episode?
It's Alex Jones. It's absolutely Alex Jones.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. But did you feel like that was going to be the crux of this show, basically, when they were talking about that? Like, did you notice what he was saying?
All I took from it, maybe I'm a simple man, I was like, oh, they're taking the piss, Alex Jones, and it's like terrestrials. It was giving me an example. I was like, are they just gonna, like, I did get the impression on it, they just gonna hit that angle and they're just gonna literally take the mick out of that, and that's their angle. But as it went on, they're actually, there's a full circle to this shot fire. So I was like, cool. But from the first thought, I just thought, okay, funny, Alex Jones joke. That's what I thought, man. I was like, carry on. Do you know what I mean?
That's how they shot it. And then later on, you realize you actually had to listen to what he was saying because he was basically explaining exactly what was going on in this show. So that was
the truth. Yeah. No, it's the truth. Sorry. Yeah, in hindsight, just after finishing episode 3, yeah, it was the truth. Like, yeah.
And we also see what a giant asshat his dad is, like, which explains a lot on how he became who he was. He had absolutely zero love being brought up.
I have my first note, DJ. See, I'm a changed man. I don't courses, but my first note was dad, racist superhero. Oh, look, it's Hulk Hogan back in the 80s. That's my first note. Yeah, do you see them Hulk Hogan tapes that came out? I mean, that's what his dad is. He's a superhero, Hulk Hogan back in the 80s. If them tapes were released earlier. That is my whole outlook on him from here on out. It's like that's Hulk Hogan on them tapes to his son. That's legit. Actually, literally, that was Hulk Hogan talking to his son on them tapes. Hulk Hogan in the 80s revealed. That's his dad.
Done and done. Who didn't want to be hugged by an eagle after seeing Peacemaker get some love from Eagly? Like, I thought he was going to bite his face, but nope, there was nothing but love between these two.
I got that, man. It was like the CGI on that was actually like really good. Like I was like, I wonder like what part of it is the real eagle and then the CGI playing a part. Obviously, that eagle did not hug him. So I was like, CGI is pretty tight. No, you always look. I don't wish, but you always look for that split where like you can see it. Like I was chilled watching it though. I wasn't really watching it. Oh, what's shit with this? I was watching it to just chill. So I thought it was actually good. It was nice. And in my head, it's like when it's like, oh, Dad, like take a picture and then like
he just walked off.
And I did. Like I rarely get things right when I'm contemplating, and I get the one crazy thing right. I was thinking that appreciate your respect there to cough and mute. Respect to DJ. I'll say that. Respect. Try to play cool. I'll say that. How am I supposed to say a serious point and just I see that mute and then DJ's like he's absolutely coughing and he doesn't want us to hear it. So in complete Peacemaker fashion, there you go. It's on the real note is with the eagle hugging him. I was thinking, like, will that come up again? Like, where he hugged the eagle, because that'd be like 10 million TikTok viral in days. And it does, like, it obviously it makes a little appearance. Like, your eagle didn't hug you. I don't believe it. I was like, all right, that's gonna hit him. But yeah, it was nice. It was a nice scene. I like that.
Oh, as far as I know, I think the eagle is 100% CGI. I don't think there's any. I think it's 100% CGI. So yeah, they crushed it with that. They did a great job.
I didn't know that. Fair play.
So the new squad gets settled in, but they hate their new HQ, and they're saying it's the worst ever. And we also see Amelia working for Leota for info on what she is and like how she got stuck into this horrible gig. And like, how sick was that? Like, the only way to make his dad happy to tell him a story about another father torturing his son when we get back into Peacemaker, like, that is I don't know. Did you just instantly hate the dad, or are you like, this is a good character?
It was messed up. I was like, that was the same lad from Terminator 2, yeah? And I was like, man, I liked you more in Terminator 2 as the villain. And that says a lot, because he was just going around killing people.
You showed more love in that one.
It was good. From a writing aspect, though, it was good to show that, because they really want to show, look, his dad's a POS, you know what I mean? They wanted to get that out there, so what a way to do that within seconds rather than a 10-minute emotional scene, and, it's like it was good. It was good. It literally put it out there. He's coughing, getting water. It shows he's actually all right, and the dad's a POS. Like, it's like, oh, he got scars. He's afraid of rats, and his dad did that to him. So it's like you're automatically on his side there. It was good within seconds.
And that's what I'm saying. They're fleshing out these characters instantly. Like, we see instantly that Harcourt does not trust Leota. Like, she's just talking to her real quick, and then we see the way that like Peacemaker had to like get his dad to react and show any emotion whatsoever. Like, they're letting us know right out of the gate who's who and what's what.
It's good. Very good for that. As a newbie watching it, it put me on point. Like, this is what they're doing. This is where they're going. It was easy.
Caught you right up. And even after laughing that hard, like, he still found a way to bring it back into being a dick. Like, he somehow knew that the man in the story was the one that shot his son. Like, just showing he's an asshole, but not dumb.
It also showed, though, as well, with his son. Like, obviously, we're all insecure in our own way. That's human life. But I love how his son, like, responds, John, which is his actual name and his name. That's some meta stuff. Is he literally says, that's confidential. But, like, it was also confidential when you told him all that stuff before. It's what suits your insecurity. That's confidential. Like, his response back, like, I'm like, all right, you're both hypocrites at this stage. Chill. You're just not as bad as him. Like, that's all. That's where we stand.
And speaking of, what was up with that secret weapons lair? Like, how is it so big in that little ass house? Did he know Hank Pym, or what the hell's going on with that?
That was dope. I thought, right, we were gonna have right now. We're gonna have a power moment with his dad where he's not as bad. Because he opens up. As much for everything that he's saying against him, You're giving him a new helmet. I'm looking at the verb rather than the words, the actions. As you're actually opening up and you're giving him a new helmet, which, as you know how that plays out, that's a bit of a savior. And I thought he was gonna where you're his dad is a POS, but he's not he's not irredeemable. Do you know? It's like he's gonna love his son. I'm not agreeing, but I'm saying is they're gonna give him something, and he literally still just manages to, even giving him a helmet and all that, he still manages to carry on being 100% POS. It's a talent that I would never want or teach my children, but it's definitely a talent that he has. And it's like, why is the son though? Why is his costume? Did you explain in Suicide Squad? He looks like a metal condom. Are we not going to talk about that? It's like, I'm ignorant coming into this. It's like, what's going on with that?
People make fun of him, but he just always thinks it looks amazing, and that's just it. Maybe that's just one more shot his dad did, made him look like an idiot when he went out, just because, I don't love you, I'm just going to make you look like an asshat when you go out there, literally.
Do you see what the dad looks like at any? Well, that's spoiler talk, I guess, yeah, because I don't know. I'm like, I'd love to see how the dad. No, actually, after watching the end of episode 2, I don't think I want to see how the dad dresses. Carry on. Sorry, I actually don't want to see what his superhero outfit is, to be honest.
Oh, but that mental back and forth, that's basically how Peacemaker is like Peacemaker. In the next scene, you see how Peacemaker switches it up when everybody else is making fun of him, and he just switches it around, jealous of a guy's pet eagle much. They're all capping on him for all these things, and he still just finds a way to turn it around on him.
It's good. It's as I say, with the insecure thing, I think that's what makes him relatable, where he's just putting up walls. As a man of my past, man, I know what putting up walls is like, and with the writers behind him, as you say, that was the Guardians of the Galaxy that wrote that. It's like they are absolutely gonna have no problem, giving them little bangers. And that's regardless if you like Peacemaker or not, is he has bangers. He has just instant bangers. You can say he's a dumbass, but he has instant bangers, as you say, with that. And there's I can see one more now, but that's for a few minutes later. It's I'm going to use instant bangers. They all have instant bangers, though, isn't it? It's like, I instant one-liner you, I'm going to one-liner you, I'm going to one-liner you.
The writing's crazy.
I would not recommend watching this drinking. Watch it sober or chilling, or if you're invested in other activities that are legal in parts of the world. Do you know what I mean? Watch it with that.
Oh, just the fact that he showed up in the next scene, in full uniform, to that dinner, it just shows how out of touch with reality he really is. But he also shows that he has feelings, when he said, all low key, you guys ordered without me. That's what hurt him the most. Not that they're making fun of his uniform, but that they ordered without.
Yeah, shows where it's stand. These little things that you're saying upon seeing, I picked it, but I never would reflect on it. And when you say it, I'm like, yeah, he did kind of throw them little things in. And to be fair to him, when he sat at that table, yeah, and because the conversation carries on, they all shit on him, and he was actually defending himself. And then what's his name, Morn, is it? So you know who's running it? The Amanda Weller, the male Weller. That's all it's called. Morn, is it Murn?
Yep. What's up, fandom? I see you out there. MERN, I think.
MER. So Mir. It's Mir. Yeah.
MERN.
So just say the word, will you? I'm Irish. I struggle with words. Yeah. Say it. You keep spelling it.
Mirn, yeah.
Mirn, yeah. Just help me out here. It's like, what's the word? MERN. That's letters. That's not the word. MERN. So Mirn, yeah. Mm-hmm. He comes in and he's like, just STFU and be respectful to your comrades. I'm like, why didn't he say that to them when they chastised him? I was like, I thought that was a bit off, because when he sat down, they all had a go at him. And he was actually just defending. He was actually defend. And then when he went on the attack, he was like, yeah, respect him. I'm like, man, I wouldn't respect him. And shout out to fandom. Good to see you, brother.
Absolutely.
Look at him, legendary. You're killing me. I'll be in touch with you, David, on Insta. I got you. I've seen you on this. I'll be in touch with you properly, brother. Respect.
Absolutely. And we're going to get everybody on for the finale, fandom. So I know you've been watching. We're going to get it up here. And once we do the finale one recap, we're going to get everybody on here and roll with it. See what everybody thought of the show.
I would absolutely love that. I'd love to see it.
It's going to be amazing.
Seriously. Sorry, DJ Crab, but no seriously talk. Yeah, David, we're all talking about Peacemaker, yeah? I know your love for her is unfounded. I asked DJ 2 days ago and he said he hasn't changed. I was like, lovely. I love it. What were you saying, brother? Sorry.
Peacemaker finally thought he did a good thing, like as small as it was when the waitress said good choice after he ordered, only to find out the whole table's just staring at him for calling the waitress sweet cheeks. Like, he's so out of tune with everything. Like, he actually thought he was talking about her rosy cheeks. Like, I mean, this guy's just out there.
Is that right? I laughed at that because that's what I thought, right? I guess this is why you wanted to do this with me, because I'm a buffoon. I'll be real with you, yeah? I thought sweet cheeks was that. that's the sad part. You know, when a comment gets distorted and then through different like I'm not even gonna hide behind Irish culture, not at all. But I'm like, just me being a simpleton. I thought sweet cheeks was like honey, or you know, something like that. A sweet cheeks talking about their arse, like when they start having that conversation, I was like, holy.
Oh,
for the worst reasons. Yeah, I was relating with him, going, oh my god, like I think I just learned something that I should have known. Do you know what I mean? I thought sweet cheeks was the cheeks, and even when you said that, so yeah, I'm actually in relatable.
And then in his own defense, when he's trying to fight it, he's like, then he starts explaining sugar tits, and that's technically that John has them too, but that seems inappropriate. Like, he knows when he's off a little bit, and we see he's not trying to be an ass. He just literally does not know any better.
Ignorance, because I fell on that hurdle as well. Now I absolutely know that. Like sugar, I've not said that terminology in a long time. Notice how I have said it. I don't curse as much. But yeah, that's when that comment was said. I laughed. I was all right. As soon as that comment was said, I was like, oh shit, that's what sweet cheeks. Like, that's that level. I was like, okay.
Oh, he doesn't give a shit. He's just like, I like how he just keeps it real. He's like, are you always going to be this difficult? He's like, yep. And then also keeps pointing out that John dyes his beard weird colors.
Yeah, with a marker, yeah. And I bet you he's right. I'm only 3 episodes in, but I bet you there will be a scene, you know, where markers fall out of his pocket or something, and they'll just kind of play it off. Like, I bet you he is correct.
That'd be amazing. They have to do that. We also see just how socially awkward the busboy is, like, who ends up being like a big deal pretty quick in this story. But as we find out, he's a superhero in his own mind. Like, what do you think of this cat?
His explanation to the dude when he said, yeah, I'm gonna, like, oh, my girlfriend's pregnant, to try and hide it. And then he's like, she's pregnant, and why were you asking me to date like my sister or my cousin or something? And he's like, oh no, don't worry, we're getting an abortion. We're gonna celebrate it. I'm like, yeah, and obviously going out of the way to hit levels there, right? You celebrate an abortion, like, and obviously they're just it's more, he's such a geek, he'll say anything. He doesn't care the social levels of how horrible it sounds, just because he wants to conceal, you know, Peacemaker. It's like, I thought he was vigilante, to be honest with you. Obviously I was wrong, but I was getting the impressions. I was like, you're that dude.
Yeah, he's definitely that dude. He is vigilante, and they show you right out of the gate just how psychotic he really is.
What did you think of him though? What did you think of that lad when he was like, oh yeah? Like, did you just go?
I was all excited about Peacemaker. I'm like, how? I was like, Peacemaker actually has a fanboy out there. It's like, he actually does have somebody on his side, which, you know, I mean, he would have to. I mean, the guy's like a great shot, can like take any weapon and be a precise, perfect ace with it. And I mean, he's gonna have fans out there that are just into that kind of thing. So it was funny to see one of them live.
What accolades did he do? If you can help me, DJ, as I say, as a noob, you're mentoring me in on this road. So if I can ask, is like, what accolades would he have done that the world would know? Do you know
they don't touch on exactly which missions that were out there, but like when Jamil was talking about it, he's like, "Oh, you're that racist superhero."
Yeah,
like they know what he's doing out there and who he's going after. But so I mean, it's out there. So I mean, like I said, he's going to have fans in that direction.
It's very true. Very true. Very true. And then when you're famous, people love and hate you, regardless.
Exactly. I mean, there's going to be we already seen, regardless how ridiculous it is, there's always going to be people on each sides of it, for it and against it. Yeah. And we see Leota and Peacemaker actually do a little bonding after dinner, and he lets her know that he doesn't trust Myrn at all. And he says that he's a merc and not always fighting for the right side. So Peacemaker's not dumb. Like, he's got some intel on these cats too. And he's like, we cannot be trusting Myrn. Did you get that?
I say, for me, it was like, are we talking about, was that, if you can refer, I only watched it yesterday. Genius.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, no, I watched
it. When they were out at the car. Was that when they were out at the car? So
I watched it a couple weeks ago, but let me refresh your memory. He's, that's when they were out at the car talking, and kind of like it was just those two out there. And they're kind of BSing back and forth. Remember, she goes out and pets his eagle in the car.
I was going to say, yeah, that's the part. She was like, oh, no, it's friendly. And then later on, it comes out, no, he doesn't. He bites people harder. He likes you. Like,
yeah, he's like, what do you mean she bit me? He's like, well, he would have bit you harder if he didn't like you. It's like, absolutely.
Like your batshit theories, man. It's crazy, but at least later on down the lines, everything is tied up. It's like, yeah, they covered themselves. It's like they look after themselves from the back.
It was so speaking of back, it was so on PC when Leota was walking away and Peacemaker decides to tell her about being wrong with being like how wrong he was, and she's like, I like how wrong you were, but you did it with conviction. Like he's like, that's kind of my thing. He's like that and having a big dick. He's like, dude. He's like, no, really, it causes people pain. Like there's just zero filters on this guy.
He actually did say, I missed it in my notes, but I think it's at the end. He used to call me chimp arm. He used to call it chimp arm or something. He said something like that. It was like, normally I don't find that stuff funny, but I guess it's just how it's played out. Like I did kind of like, you're just banging like constant 8 out of 10 jokes there. Like, and that's like 8 is well above average. So I was like, all right. Chimp arm. The fact I can still quote it here after a day, yeah, well done. Well done to the writers there. Well played.
Exactly. And they're just, again, kind of letting you know right where this is going. Like, if this isn't you might want to watch out because we're going nowhere deeper from here. Like, PC is out the window. So, yeah, that was pretty good.
There's many points that PC is out the window, my friend. That's why you buy a laptop.
Exactly. Well, diving, Peacemaker sees Amelia walking alone, and do you think she saw him and dipped into that bar just so he would keep going, or was like she secretly hoping that he'd come and meet her for a drink?
Oh, I like how you turned that around because obviously it's explained in the dialogue like how she's seen everything he was doing, but it's like, what have we seen everything you were doing? I like how you actually did that there. I thought we were going that obvious path where it's like, well, DJ, we see, like she explains what happened there, but it's like, no, you're putting it on her. That's interesting. I would say yes. This is you being DJ, typical DJ. I would say yes, actually, on that. Because if she knows, like, she's obviously in a position where she's like Black Widow, isn't it? So she's like a Black Widow kind of character. She's intelligent. She can look after herself. Yeah, I would say yeah to that, actually. I never even thought about that. Yeah. I was just watching it without these levels, man. And when you were adding this, I'm like, yeah, actually. Yes.
And look how on the same page we are. I literally just wrote, we see that Amelia can absolutely take care of herself. She's got Black Widow type skills. Oh, that's amazing. Did she ever call Peacemaker handsome and then use his first name as she was ranting? Like I said earlier, you think there's going to be a chance that, or like your boy said, actually, you think there's going to be a chance that these two hook up? You think they are?
I literally have here is, where is, no, I don't, obviously delete. No, there it is. You're handsome, but a cold POS motor. I think that's what I said. And she does say in the statement, though, like he's handsome, yeah. But I don't know. I think it's too obvious. I don't think this show, they get to have fun, they get to play dark humor, they get to use the DC world and throw out names. It's like, why be obvious? A falls in love with B. Like, why not lead it to that and then throw a C or a D out? Typical DJ style in a debate. It's why not play the CD? You know what I mean? Old school. That's how real music. No, vinyls is how real music is played apparently. But yeah. Why not play the CD angle and just go for it? I think they're leading us up for it. They'll probably have a one night stand and then they'll break off and she hates him and she gets with someone else and they'll carry on the plot with the two of them making jokes and he's like, what was I, horrible in bed? And they'll just continuously make jokes about that and he's insecure. That's what I could see happen. So I could see they'll hook up, but they won't fall. She will not love him and then he'll meet someone else. That's what I could see. If that answers your question, I could see.
I think maybe that could go that way. I would think either they'll switch it up, like you said, and just go the other way and just make them be friends, and that'll be weird. Like, oh, I've never been friends with a hot chick type situation. Or they will like get into bed. She'll finally relent. They'll get into bed, and all of a sudden he won't be able to do it because he just wants to be friends at that point. I can see some stuff like that going down.
I like that. It'd be like a switch around. Remember when you had Black Widow and Captain America? Black Widow, Captain America. Oh, the Hulk has taken the lead, like a horse race. Oh, the Hulk has just taken the lead. Oh, the Hulk has broke her heart and taken her. Now Captain America's going back in time and he's meeting his ex back in the 1950s. And that's the end of this chapter. Thanks for watching. You know, I could see, the bait and switch. There's a bait and switch. Oh, that's Marvel. Yeah, it's DC. So I've no idea. You can't say Dick without DC. So he's a good character.
Oh, speaking of hooking up, it seems like walking into that bar wasn't a total waste. Like, it looks like he was able to work out 4 years of pent-up aggravation aggressions after all. Because that woman that had him screaming out freedom, like, that was straight William Wallace style.
Man, do you know what I thought that was David Bowie.
That was a tongue twister. She looked a little like David Bowie. That was,
David Bowie. I was like, so you got like, see an 8 out of 10 tunnel vision here. Like, I was like, that David Bowie. And then obviously, it's like
rock hard body David Bowie. And next we find out that Leota is not only a plant from Amanda Waller to be her eyes and ears, but it's also her daughter. It's like, how bad is that going to blow up when the whole squad finds out, like especially Harcourt finds out that that's Amanda Waller's daughter?
But she was questioning in the first episode, why are we degraded to this, and why like did we do something wrong and whatnot. But if she's putting her daughter in that position, then obviously I think she'll be more humble than anything, because at the start she was like, why are we here? What's your ability? What can you do? I was asking the same question. Then actually, what is your thing? Do you know what I mean? And then it's obviously we know it's our daughter, but they don't know that. So at the start, I could see Harcourt completely being humble to it. To be like, oh my God, you put your daughter with us. That means we are high tier stuff right now, because you would not put your daughter in a. Well, she absolutely did put her daughter in a bad situation.
Yeah, they know Amanda Waller has no love for any human life, probably not even for her own daughter. So I don't think they'd just be like, oh my God, they even got her daughter in here. That's how ruthless she is. She'll just put her in here to die with the rest of us.
Do you think? Like, I can get that angle being played, but do you remember the video call that she had with her? Like, that seemed like affection. Now, unless that they do a twist where it's like,
right,
you have to get the job done and you're right. Yeah, but like from a visual aspect, it seemed legit. She's like, okay, take care and all. It's very human on her character. Like,
yeah, sociopaths can fake affection more than anybody. Like, they're the best at it. So could be. But how entertained were you when Peacemaker like was sitting there singing some karaoke in his tidy whities, like using her vibrator as a mic?
I didn't even notice that was a vibrator. Was it a vibrator?
Absolutely.
That's good. That's good. That's good. I started just when you said that. So they obviously have this fair play. Like I was still like you can totally tell it was your man going with the Guardians of the Galaxy, how he loops the classical music into the characters, like very good, and it's like you're with it. You're like, yeah, this is cool. Like but can I DJ before you carry on with that? I did not notice that. I'm gonna have to rewatch that now. That's funny. It's very funny. It's there's one scene at the bar though. Remember where she messed the dude up? And what I found funny was, like, that was a big dude, and she messed him up, and then she had a drink with him, yeah. And then the other dude's mate, hey, what did you call my brother? So I'm like, these are supposed to be big men. And so, you said a bad word, insulting word, and hurt his feelings. You know, I kind of found that funny. Look at you big, supposedly masculine men, and it's like, he told you that she called him a bad name, and you're coming to hit her. Like, I'm like I actually, sorry, I enjoyed that little thing where it's like they flipped that like beautifully, where it's like you'd never see that happen like that, and it was good. It's funny.
Yeah. That's what we're saying, just like Black Widow, like she can handle herself regardless. It doesn't matter how big they are, like they're going down. That was pretty sweet. And then that other chick, well, she could hold her own more than anything too, because she attacks Peacemaker out of nowhere and kicks the living crap out of him. Like, how bad would it have to be before you took a nosedive out a window in your tidy whities just to get away?
It sounds like somebody in their 20s or something, doesn't it? On holiday. I like how they played it up though. Did you notice how they played it up? Because you're thinking, wait, were you a man like or something? And it's like the Peacemaker, because like, you just made my day great. So they're obviously going out of the way to pull the rug. I was like, wait, is that like a man and he's unaware what's going on? And if you watch that scene again, is when they walk by, the lampshade covers that area. And I was like, are they butt naked? And you're just gonna see like a flute. That's what we call it, like a flute hanging. And then you walk by still, and it's like, oh no, so that's not the angle. Like, but the whole time, like if you watch that, how they played that scene by scene, they played it like that. Do you know what I mean? Like you made it look like I watched the lampshade. Watch when she walks out, the lampshade is it's like Austin Powers. Do you remember where they always cover it? I was getting them vibes from it, going, oh yes, that's what it is. And then they double flipped it, like double on time to go, no, that's not the case. No, she's a crazy alien bitch.
Oh, dude, yeah, I was just fear when she jumps down 3 stories. I'm like, yeah, I'm afraid at this point.
Yeah, the CGI was shocking there. I'm loving it so far. Okay, if you rewatch that scene when she landed, do you ever see them face morph things where you can put your face on stuff and all? and what it does is it digitizes it in poor graphics like a PlayStation 1 or a PlayStation 2, and it puts your face on it. That's what it looked like. You watched that scene when she jumped and landed. I actually watched it. I was like, oh, that is shocking CGI. And how bad that CGI is, I never noticed things like that because I'm stupid. And I watched, I was like, oh, that's horrible. You could literally see her computer face rendering. I was like, but it's a comedy kind of show, so I was like, I didn't care. Just out of curiosity, rewatch that scene when she jumps down and just watch that CGI. It's that bad. I noticed it. It's that bad. I noticed it. That's how bad it was. But I didn't care. I'm like, alright, she's looking for him. What's going on? Where is he?
Oh, what's going on is those helmets are a lot cooler than they look. Like, that literally just saved his ass. Oh man, it's like, okay, these helmets are tight.
His dad saved him. Like his dad saved him. Sad for him.
And he was all sitting there feeling sad and by himself, but at least Eagly was there for him. And in the end, basically, he even brought him a dead mole. Like, that was cute how he kind of kept like inching closer to him. Like, if nothing else, you still got me, buddy.
It was great. It was great, and it explains how he like the eagle didn't get hit by the sonar radar that got hit. It was nice. It was tight. It was tight. Simple and effective right there. I was like, yeah, okay, I'm with it. I'm not stopping and being like, wait, what? I'm like, no, I'm with it. I'm like, okay, it's playing out. We're episode 1. We're in deep. He's an ignorant piece of shit, but he's very likable. Like, okay.
Absolutely. So did the first episode like get you intrigued? Like, were you ready? Were you excited to hit episode 2, or you're just like, where the hell is this going?
Honestly, I was, where the hell is this going? But I think the scene at the bar, it was when I was the most intrigued. Where it's like, how are they going to build this character? Obviously, him and her is going to hook up. The obviousness, she's a good looking lass. He's a good looking lad. They're obviously she's gonna play hard to get. He's eventually gonna get her. Now, the next 2 episodes completely are leaning on that theory, which is looking like a fact. It could be wrong, but yeah, I found it most interesting when she said, like, and what's your story? No, they were still kind of break offish, but I liked it where you could see like a smidgen of his reality, like realism, not reality, a smidgen of his realism. I like that, where it's like you're gonna drop this one-liner bullshit for a moment and just be a bit real. And like, I got that moment at the bar with her from him, and then he turned back into obviously his usual self, banged the other chick who was an alien. But yeah, that was the part where I was like, I want to see where they go with him. What's going on there? Because they left an inkling down to be like, he's not as bad.
Absolutely, and we're gonna roll in and see where he goes, because it's Peacemaker episode 2, Best Friends for Never. And we pick up right where we left off as Peacemaker's running back into the woman's apartment to get his stuff. And he calls Amelia to fill her in, and she's on the way, but so are the cops. And even within all the chaos, like, he can't help but to like inappropriately like flirt with Harcourt, like, while he's on the phone, even asking if she can see him masturbating through the chip in his head. Like, I was just dying.
It's good. No, it was good. She's having a double moment, because on the other side, she's like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm trying to be sneaky. And then on the other side, she's looking, and there's a big hole in the building. So we have to get him out of there. Like, nothing is incognito at this moment.
Speaking of incognito, I like how she had no shame getting dressed on the fly. Like, she's just all about business, walking down the hall with an unbuttoned shirt. I was like, get it.
And that's thumbnails. Those are thumbnails. Thumbnails. You know? So it is.
It seems like everybody already knows about the butterflies. Why didn't they want to fill in Peacemaker?
Because he's an ignorant idiot.
He's too stupid to know right now.
I don't think he's too stupid to know. He's too valuable an asset to have, and he's too invaluable to lose. Like, in a sense, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like how could I explain it? If trying to think of an example. I guess I could use myself. It's kind of like if I designed a nuclear bomb, on the fly. It's like, you wouldn't mess with me. Not that I can design a nuclear bomb, because you talk to me, like, I'm average intelligence. I have a bit of wisdom. I'm wise, but I'm stupid in that sense. Where it's like, you would not want to get on my bad side, but you could easily manipulate me. Which is like, because I'm not that smart. I'm wise, not smart. Which I think is the case with Peacemaker. And it's like, why waste your breath on them?
Well, speaking of not smart, Myrn tells Economos to switch the prints on Peacemaker's car, and in a panic, he switched him to the first person he could think of, his dad. It's like, did he do that on purpose, just trying to punish someone he thought deserved it?
No, I think he's an idiot. From what I got, he's just an idiot.
He's just an idiot. And then
should I text you when I'm having a shit? Like, I like that. like that's, I relate with that. I'm telling you, I relate with that.
And then Amelia and Leota pull in to pick him up, but the place is swarming with cops. So even though Peacemaker is still inside the apartment, basically looting it, like he is so like lost. It's like, you got all these cops in here, you know, you're about to get caught, and he starts going on a treasure hunt. Like, are you kidding me?
I'm sorry. I'm in my notes here. I have. It's a pour of my like personal preference that the whole time in that scene when he's being chased, I was like, you better take them vinyls. Like, you racked them up, and they were some good songs. Actually, I cared throughout his whole thing of getting in and out of the hotel, like, or whatever it was. I was like, you better take them vinyls. And they done a lot of, like, for me, as I was personally involved in him getting them vinyls out of there, they kind of messed with me a lot. You know what I mean? It's like drop, pick up, drop, pick up. And I was, but that was the only thing I was invested in.
Oh, you're going to be so scratched.
Yeah, but it was just like, you better get that. You better get them vinyls. And they messed with me heart there a bit, you know, because like, drop, pick up. No, you picked them up. Drop, pick up. No, you pick. I was like, you. Oh, I was a bit like stressed as overused, but I was like, I was invested in him leaving with them vinyls. Really.
He's basically looting the place, but it was actually a good thing he did because he seems to have found some important stuff that may actually help with his case on the butterflies. Like, what the hell was that thing, that little space age thing he found on the counter?
Yeah, but at that point, you're thinking, from watching that episode, like, as he's getting away and all, and when you get your moment of clarity, is you're thinking, like, she had all the music he loved. Like, she was an absolute plant. Whether she read the dossiers or not, which we get it, I'm like, she was an absolute plant. Like, even before you knew any of that, I'm like, that's an absolute plant. You had everything he loved. You're supposed to be an alien species. What are you? It's like, maybe they explain in later episodes that they take over human hosts and then they actually live life on Earth. It's like, I doubt that because they're a threat, apparently. But maybe some do. If that's the case, then yeah, maybe some do. So I don't know, actually. You know when I say that. It's like, I'm only 3 episodes in.
No, but I like that because we didn't notice her before, and then all of a sudden when he gets dissed by Harcourt, then he turns, and when Harcourt leaves, all of a sudden she's just sitting there. Like, he didn't notice her in the first place. So yeah, she might have followed him in there, and absolutely, she could be a plant. I like that. I love that.
That's what I'm thinking. Mad mind.
It was funny how Leota kept driving all slow, thinking she was being more stealth. Like, if anything, that would draw more attention. That made me laugh.
And she was putting the indicators up.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. From someone who's now been driving for a while, I'm like, fair play. I was giving her credit to, like, yes, road rules, do that. I was with her because like, I'm driving the last few months. I was like, yes, but from a realistic aspect, it's like, no, that is not silent.
And then speaking of more attention, like, can you imagine breaking into that apartment and the guy's wife is basically trying to sleep with you right there in front of him?
I have here in my notes, DJ, yeah. Foster the people, murderer. That was my first. I'm a weird person in that sense where I'd rarely break out. You know, if I'm watching a show or a movie, I'd rarely break out laughing. I know we're all wired and different in our own way, and it's beautiful and awesome. I rarely watch something and I ha ha ha, you know, that legit. And that got me. Whereas like, have you read the lyrics to Foster the People? I was like, murder, and then she just accused me murder. I was like, he listens to Coldplay, and he listens to Foster. Shout out to I like the Foster the People acoustic version of that song, but I actually did genuinely like how they did it. I was like, that's fun. Like I legit ha came out of my fucking organs. I cursed.
That was amazing. It was nice they didn't give him an easy out. Like, it was cool to see him very ungracefully jump from balcony to balcony. Again, going back to what the janitor said last episode, like, he's too bulky to be a superhero. Like, he was slamming so hard on those landings. I don't know. I got a kick out of that.
Why? Can I ask you, why did he tie them up? Like, you were obviously on side with him where he could have just doing that without tying them up, no?
Yeah. I mean, I guess, but you're in your tidy whities. You don't want him grabbing a weapon or something you don't know about. But I don't know. The guy is not going to be on his side anymore after the girl's trying to like get with him right in front of him.
Was he still in his tighties though? I thought he grabbed his full uniform and threw it on before he started running.
No, he was jumping. He was jumping balcony to balcony in the tidy white.
I'll take your opinion on that. I thought I think I was giving him more credit then because I was like, oh, he's tying them up. So because he's like, oh, these are okay, but so when the police kick the door in, they do not look like they were an accomplice. Do you know what I mean? I thought he was playing some next level chess there, where he's like, I'm doing this actually. It may look like I'm being horrible and all, but technically I'm ahead of the game. When they come in, I've tied you up so you're not an accomplice, rather than them letting him run in and be like, yeah, and she's like, oh, I would have sex with you. You know, let's play away from that. But he obviously wasn't. He's an idiot. I was giving him too much credit.
Oh, that's crazy. And then he's definitely a pet owner. Like he's got windows being shot out all around him, but like he won't leave without Eagly. I was like, this is definitely a pet owner. Like, no, I don't care if my life's in danger. I gotta get my boy.
I love that. And he's saying about to crunch the bag, and they're like, what are you talking about? Like, just crunch your bag out the window.
Hold on one sec.
Sorry, this advertisement break was brought to you by DJ Woman, where theories are crazy. If you've never met DJ Woman in your life, DJ Woman likes to come up with theories. If you thought that the world was flat and everybody agreed that the world was round, he'd make a theory that the world was flat. Because when everybody goes right, he goes left. Now, we're back with DJ Woman.
Oh, man, that's crazy. Somebody just kept knocking at the door. I was like, go away.
Sorry, brother. I got an advertisement in for you.
Oh, when Emily says it better not be shit back there, that the eagle better not shit back there. Postmaker replies, "You can't house train an eagle, not without stealing its soul." Like, how pure.
That was beautiful. That was absolutely. Do you know what? Like in all fashions of life, what anything that you love as a human being, which we are raised to do, that was beautiful. Like that, I was like, you just hit a deep one, but they carried on like with the fastball like that. I'm with you. I have that in my notes as well. That exact quote. That's we're brothers in digital arms. I have that in quotes, and then I have in brackets the capital letters. Deep. So yes, I'm with you there. That was deep.
And then next we see just how racist Peacemaker's dad is. Like he gets Detective Song so fired up, she ends up calling him a fork. Like that was pretty classic.
You know what? More small notes. Hopefully I'm changing for the better. What I have here is literally he called our chopsticks. I have me know here chopsticks. The only part that annoyed me about that scene, not annoyed, was her not annoyed as in it was poor. I mean annoyed as in character mode. And there's so many comebacks there. And like I literally just have comeback throws. It's like gone off milk on the beach. Look at this bag of flour. Holy shit, this cracker fell out with a packet on the wrong side of the bed. And then the milkman, aka the other detective, is like, why didn't you call him a spoon? I was looking at the two of them disappointed. Like there is so much shit you could have said to this man at this point. So in that, from a smack talk point of view, it was a minus 5. Like,
our man Johnny's only seen the first 3. I've actually seen the first 5. And I'm just going to tell you to hang on to that thought and remember that this show is very well written, and that's probably going to come back around.
Okay. I still stand by. She could have just said, "Holy shit, the cracker fell out of the pack on the wrong side of the bed, man." It's like, it's easy. Yeah. And then slammed the door. It's like, get him back, you man. Get him back.
Why is John so interested in what Mern's doing in the bathroom? Like, like you said earlier, he would even appreciate a text on whether he's going 1 or 2. He's like, yeah, I would. Like, where are they going with that situation? Like, they trying to tell us something about Economos with that or what? I was like, wait a minute.
I thought they were just it's like, look, I'm an idiot, but I will get some things right and I'll get them horribly wrong as well. And he's like, man, I'm having a shit. I'm not going to text you when I'm having a shit. Like, I think it was just kind of a boss with poor colleagues. You know, when it's like, this is the only staff you have and you can't fire them. Like, that was the impression I got. And I was like, that's all I got. Exactly. It's like,
Mern even calls him an idiot, and he just flips it like, "Oh, don't use the I word. It's not cool." Like, just the switch up is amazing.
Oh, it's nice.
The squad gets back to headquarters, and Leota is jacked, like talking about, "We just shot at it," and like, "We just got shot at." And she asks John, "You ever been shot at?" And he gets all sad and says, "No." Like, how desperate is Economos for to get some action in this?
I like how it was put, but he's one of them. As I say, one of them, like an air point is what I got from that. It's kind of like, you know, when if you had nights out, DJ, I'm sure you had your friends where you have your chill friends, then you have your friends that you love, and there's always that one or two mad ones. And when you go out on a night out, you have a good night, you come back, and then later on, your other friend is like, I was in a fight and he's all busted up, and you're like, we were in the same place together, what happened to you? And they're like, I got busted up, and then you always have that one, I call them a lingerer on the edge of the story, wishing to be that person. And I was like, oh yeah, you're a fucking man. It's like, that's what he is. So then where he's like, no, I've never been shot. I was like, you actually really don't want to be shot. Like, what are you talking about? You fool. You've never been in any situation close to what fear actually is. And that's what I get from him. Is like he's never been in any situation in his life. So that's where that comes from.
Oh man. And while in the team meeting, they try to figure out who's feeding the butterflies information. And through process of elimination, Amelia thinks it may be Leota. And it's starting to get hairy until Peacemaker remembers that he left the dossier out on the bed for her to see. So we saw right where people were thinking who was what, and like what they really thought of each other. And then Peacemaker, of course, breaks it out. So we see where Amelia is at with Leota. Is that going to become a problem later?
I think the reveal of obviously, I think that's our door. I think that's actually gonna quill it. Like it's gonna quill shit more than anything, because as you say she's a sociopath. Yeah, just speaking about Amanda, she's a sociopath. But from a colleague standpoint, it's like, what did he say? There was a line that he said in one of the episodes where it was like, she put a Colonel Marine on the line and didn't care. I'm like, Colonel Marine, yeah, that's some high stuff. Her daughter, though. Do you know? That's where it's like, I don't know. I'm very muddied on that. Where it's like, I get your point. Where it's like, no, she'll do it to anybody. But I think the way the show is angling it, it showed us that video call with her and the daughter, and it made her seem empathetic. I've never seen her empathetic. Now, either that's a mastermind sociopath stroke, as you were saying, or it's kind of showing you like regardless of as much as the shit that she's done, like she is a human too. So I don't know. On the side of she's a sociopath and she's playing that little finger game, on the side of she does care about her daughter, then if they hear about her being her daughter, I think they'd be like, well, she put her daughter with us, so that must mean like we're on the high tier list, not the low tier list. I could see it working well rather than shit, if that makes sense. I could see it working better than worse.
Time will tell. We'll have to figure it out. And Peacemaker had a point. Like, they were all yelling at him for not keeping the docket safe, but he's like, nobody ever told me what a butterfly is. Like, don't you think it's about time they filled him in on what he's actually doing here?
No. would you tell the Hound like what the origin of the White Walkers are? No. What you do is you tell him up season 7. You're going to send them up and get me a white. Why would you explain the context of you have the ability, the strength, the endurance, like you are a gifted human being with these talents? It's like, would you explain politics to the Hound? That's my answer to your question, my friend. No, you wouldn't. It's like, no, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take that man and you're gonna send him to do what he's fucking good at. So why waste your time?
I mean, maybe the way he's worried about being a dick vampire, like, what is that? Like, I mean, if that's the way he's taking things, maybe you don't want to give him too much information because he's bound to fuck it up.
Would you trust a dick vampire with like intel? Do you know what I'm saying? That's me. That's me answer to your question.
Oh, once Peacemaker makes it home, like, and he's all alone, we see like what an emotional wreck he truly is. Like, he feels so horrible about killing Rick Flag, and again, that's kind of a spoiler. What's going back to the movies, and that's what they're
showed it. Yeah, they show it at the start of the series, so you're not spoiling that, bro.
Okay, yeah, there you go. So yeah, he's actually feeling bad about it. And, I don't know. How about the lengths he went to just not admit that he was crying when Vigilante walked up?
Brilliant. No, I love that. I was just exercising the emotions on my cheeks to make me stronger. He's like, well, I have skinny cheekbones. I was like even saying it now. That's very funny and very, very funny. And they absolutely destroyed like Louis C.K. Like, I think Louis C.K. is mates with one of them because John Cena, right, just from an outside perspective, he would not go out of his way to speak like that about anybody, you know. And it did when he's doing, I know with wrestling and all that stuff, but it's like that's him and like Dwayne Johnson. They obviously get along like crazy behind the scenes, and it's like, look, say what you want. They have a conversation with each other before. So when they start doing the shit with Louis C.K., I'm like, this is a genius comedian, and what happened to him revealing his penis and shit. Oh, like, one of them was obviously really good mates, and I bet you Louis C.K. seen that. And I know that was crazy what he did, but I bet you he's seen that as like, do it. Like, I know John Cena hasn't got the kahunas to just do that, because from an intellectual level, Louis C.K. would destroy him. So when that whole scene went on, I loved how the end of it, where it was like, Vigilante is like, well, he's ginger. John's like, he's what? Like, that explains everything. I was like, oh, that's why he did it.
That's one of the best parts about this show is how they do deep dive explain everything. Like, they don't let anything just go untold. Like, that's amazing. It's good.
I enjoyed it, though. They really went deep, though. They surprised me. I was like, holy shit, he's going after Nice.
It was a deep dig. And then Leota heads over to bribe the Calcaterras, and we see their relationship isn't going well. They can't even get out the front door without cussing each other out. But lucky for Leota, they're totally down for the bribe. And you think those two are ever going to make their all-expense-paid trip to Tahoe?
Well, judging by the recent pictures I've seen, yeah. That's the next episode. So, yeah, I think they'd be okay. Like, I think they'd be very okay.
Vigilante said the reason Peacemaker went to jail and he didn't is because he wears a mask. He has a point, and were those two together on a job? Like, do you think that's what sent Peacemaker to jail in the first place?
No, I think what sent Peacemaker to jail in the first place was his absolute amazing abilities, endurance, strength, everything, and the fact that he's easily manipulated, and he apparently died on the job. So I was like, yeah, well, he's not dead, so let's bring him back in. I think that's why. I think he's more of an asset than Vigilante will ever be. You know, the reason why Vigilante is not locked up because nobody gives a fuck. Do you know what I mean? He's not a big deal. Like.
But I'm saying, like, before Suicide Squad, like when he first got picked for that team, like how they pulled him out of jail. I was wondering, like, what do you think he did to actually go to jail in the first place? And do you think he was on a job with Vigilante?
Didn't know that. Sorry, that's it. I didn't even know that. That's interesting. So he was in jail. Like the suicide. That's where, like, if I watched the movie, obviously that would help me there. So originally, like his introduction in that movie was like, oh, they pulled him from jail. Did they say what he was in jail for? Like, what did he do?
They might have typed it up. I have to go back. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, I'm sure it was something, probably killing some innocents or something like that. Like, I really don't remember why he was in jail, but that's where Amanda Waller gets all the Suicide Squads. She pulls them all from jail. Like in both movies, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's DC facts right there, absolutely. But is Vigilante, like, is he in the Suicide Squad movie, or is that his debut in this series?
It's a debut in this series.
So when he's talking about all the past stuff, that's why you got arrested and I didn't. Okay. Oh, which would go before. Yeah. Oh, right. So sorry, I took that question like where it's like it was more of an asset. Yeah. Oh no, that's a good one. DJ, don't deep on me here. I would stand by me simpleton point of, you know, I mean, he's far more superhero skills. Not like if he's born with that ability and super strength, like, you know, I mean, that's it. He obviously has an advantage. I think Vigilante. Am I spoiling? Have I asked? Does Vigilante have a superpower other than being a sociopathic, horrible bastard?
Yeah, basically, he'll just kill anybody at any time, and he's just like Peacemaker, a great shot with all kinds of different weapons.
So wouldn't like Amanda Waller then have documents on Vigilante as well?
Oh, that's another thing that comes up a little bit later. They're like, isn't he wanted on multiple felonies? And like, we don't have time for that. They just keep it moving. So that's how they gloss over that.
So he doesn't matter. So that's to answer your question. Why I think he got caught and he didn't is because I think it was Amanda. I'm just gonna call her Amanda. I think she set these, like, she set him up. To be honest with you, I think there'd be a whole reveal. She set him up while he was in jail. You get a flashback, and he's more important than Vigilante. If Vigilante was important, then he would have been in jail, because in jail is obviously where she recruits. So she has to get them in jail to recruit.
I like that.
So she'll pick who's the important ones to recruit, essentially meaning to get caught and put in jail. Vigilante doesn't matter. He got caught because he matters. If that makes sense.
I like that. Why is Peacemaker so caught up in his feelings all of a sudden? Like, was it the near-death experience, or maybe the fact that everybody around him is pointing out what a huge dick his dad is? Like, how can I, like, because in the movie, and that's another thing, you didn't see the movie, but in the movie, he was just stone cold ruthless. Like, he had no feelings. And now they're showing, you know, just have this outlet pouring of emotions in this series.
Persona, my friend, is, right? You're probably one of the rare human beings that probably you do relate to this. I doubt you do, but you could. Is where you have a night, say you had too much drink in your younger years, and you're a dick to just everybody, and you wake up the next. That's what I'm saying. You probably don't relate to this because you're just nice. You're just nice, but it's like you wake up the next day, and you just feel like shit. Like I can't believe, be it a best friend, a family member, a lover. Like, I can't believe I spoke to them that way, and it's like that kind of remorse to get over it. You know what he was going through. It's like you're a human being, mate. That's what I got from him. It's like nice. I enjoyed that writing. I'm like it kind of gives him a bit of depth as a character rather than just all that shit. Like, I like that. I thought that was cool.
And speaking of death, the character Vigilante's going a bit overboard, killing people with his bare hands just for graffiti, or I don't know. Maybe that is kind of an appropriate response.
That was the only minor, I think. I wouldn't even call it a spoiler, but when I asked you about what am I about to watch, which is what we're discussing now, and you said, yeah, well, it's this man who's ignorant and his best friend's a sociopath. I was like, oh, as soon as he said that, I was like, that's the sociopath. Technically, you were wrong because he's not his best friend. Legally, he's his best friend.
I mean, yeah, definitely. Even while he was trying to console Peacemaker, like Vigilante lets us know that he's an even bigger sociopath than Peacemaker is. Like, you think killing people with my bare hands and watching their eyeballs popping out of their skulls makes me happy? Peacemaker's like, no. And then Vigilante like just giggles. He's like, hell yeah, it does, because I'm a killer. I was like, holy shit.
It sounded like it was going to be a bit of a powerful emotional scene, and it just went. It's like, no, this dude's a piece of shit. Like, okay.
And he may not give the soundest advice, but he knew what Peacemaker really needed, to let off some steam by blowing some shit up. And it looks like that actually helped more than a little late night romp with the butterfly did. He was feeling a lot better after that one.
They were shooting them angles that they were shooting from. Like, I don't think it's plausible. It's like they were going to shooting under their arse. They were shooting the cups that was supposed to be the penis and shit. I was like, yeah, they're just 17-year-olds and the skipped school. With guns. That's what it was. And if that's what some people need, that some people jog, some people do yoga, some people do mad shit that people would regard mad shit, bungee jump, air jump. So, if that's their shit, I respect it. I don't know. If people want to unload to get shit off, they're not harming anybody. It's okay.
I said respect. Leota's plan worked, and the Calcuttas both figured the dad and pointed the finger at the dad as the one who tied him up. And the squad has to know that that's not going to last for long. Like, we know that's going to come back to bite him.
Yeah, I was a bit perplexed. Like, let's not tell him yet, because obviously it's like, well, what do you mean? Let's not tell him yet? It's like, how are you going to keep him away from seeing his dad? Like, are you playing off his emotions because he's easily manipulated? Look, we have this situation. Oh, go have a drink here, or go have food here, where you're gonna keep him away. He genuinely wants to stay away from his dad, so it's easy to kind of push him away. Like, I think they're aware of that, but it's absolutely gonna bite them in the arse. But maybe they have a more important mission at hand in the next episode that they want to just use them for.
And then Leota asked Kia to take the dogs and go back home. Like, you think those two are going to make it through this, or will the mission change Leota too much? Like, you think she's going to finally realize that she was meant for this lifestyle, but it's just too dangerous for her wifey?
No, I think, like, right now, when I watched it, I was like, is this like a woke show? Where you have you're just putting in everything for everything. You have two, black females, and then they're raising a child. Like, there's no question in my mind about it, but it's like, I'd be doing it, but it was done in a very tasteful, humor way, where it's not in your face. I'm like, no, this is just an angle. Get over it. That's essentially, and I like that. I was like, that's what I like about anything. If you're white, ginger, and Irish, and he's drinking a beer, this is an angle. Get over it. That's not the main base of the story. I like that. So I could see them being legit. For that, we talk about the picture, obviously, because they are legit. But it's like, yeah, I just think, does she have a superpower, or she has something? She definitely, she doesn't have a superpower, because Amanda doesn't have superpowers. So I think her superpower or something.
I think her superpower is being able to, how Amanda keeps saying how she's made for this. It's like going through paperwork and finding clues and getting information out of things, being able to find out what it really is all about. So I think that's kind of her superpower. She's just really good at getting information that she needs.
You think, though, because did you not see our game when she was trying to explain bribery to fucking Myrn?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's I don't play charades. Just say it. And she's
Speak it.
like,
She doesn't incriminate herself.
You could be right, yeah. I think she's used as a heart character, as an extension that Amanda is not this horrific robot. That's what I get from her. Because she's her daughter, essentially being the extension. So that's what I get. Where it's like, look, she can raise someone like this, and she's lovable, she's empathetic. She's the only one who gives Peacemaker a chance and let him do his thing. Like, she's the only one fucking saying that. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. First one on his side and having his back. And it looks like Amber finally found some happiness having a threesome with Peacemaker and Vigilante. Like, it was funny, even after being let in on that, like how butthurt Vigilante was that those two were sitting there smoking weed afterwards. It's like, I so would have killed you guys before this earlier.
Yeah, and he just, unless he has superpowers that you reveal later, like as a shock plot twist, it's like you wouldn't do anything. Like, this dude is actually a super. Like, he's got that, you know. You're chosen, like Batman. No, he's one of the chosen where he has abilities. You wouldn't do anything. And maybe it's me just being weird, but I was looking at her in the middle, going, man, what a toxic relationship that you're in.
Yeah.
I know toxic relationships, and it's like anybody does. But I was like, my God, it's like I looked at her, I was disappointed in her. Like, unless she broke up with her fella. Even then, though, I was like, I was like, you should probably lean off that. I was like, I read that too heartfelt. I was like, wait, really? Like, I don't mess with women like that. But it's like on the angle of the weed shit was funny, and then obviously wasn't he like I was all about that DJ because it segues into the stone. You know, and it was a stone. Don't tell me that was a vibrator too. That was an alien artifact, yeah. Before you say no, it was a vibrator. It was an alien artifact, yeah.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Peacemaker notices that thing is starting to glow. And he picks it up and it unfolds, but looked like kind of a mini little spaceship. Like, is that what it is? Or do you think it's something else? Like maybe a jetpack? What was that thing?
No, can you answer me that? Yeah.
What it is? I think it's
unless he spoiled it. Did he spoil that? Do you know what that is?
We have no idea yet.
Tell me what it is.
I think it's a little butterfly spaceship. I think that's how they got here. I think that's a total little butterfly spaceship. I have no idea.
Sense. Yeah, in episode 3 where you actually... Sorry to jump ahead, but you actually see what a butterfly is and to put it in a spaceship. Like, yeah.
That's what I think it is. I don't know. I mean, what else could it be, in my opinion?
It's just the fact that Peacemaker called it a spaceship. But like, there's no fucking way that's a spaceship. He's calling it a spaceship. That means it's definitely not a spaceship.
You can't be right? Exactly. And then we see Peacemaker's dad getting dumped into Gen Pop, and just when I thought like the gang members were going to come up and harass him, they all take a knee and pay homage. Looks like he's some type of Aryan Nation leader called the White Dragon. I was like, holy shit, that was a little flip.
Oh, it was nicely done. It reminded me of Oz. I was waiting on him to come in the wheelchair, you know, at the end and explain the episode. I was like, what's going on here? Shout out to Oz. What a series. If you all ain't watching it, you know. It's like, what a series. Shout out to Jericho, man. Gee. But what I have... Sorry, brother. No, you forced me, brother.
I was just going to say, you think Detective Song started getting a little nervous when the inmates all started chanting to the leader basically being back?
Absolutely. And you know what? I love the subtle shout out where it's like, he's a cape, which is what they call superheroes. I love that where it's like, he's a cape. He's like, because I was questioning it, going, wait, it's a superhero thing where it's just born randomly into, it could be a child, it doesn't matter the DNA, but it's like, no, he's a superhero too. I was going to ask you that when we came on, but then when I watched that, I was like, oh my God, because he says he's a cape, which means, no, he's a superhero. It literally just came from him. Like, and he's given the whole thing, you're my sperm, how can my sperm be a pussy? It links everything up. And when they said, he's a cape, and why didn't you put him in Arkham? That was cool. I like that. Whereas, why didn't you put him in Arkham Asylum? Lincoln. I was like, because this is DC. Yes. It reminded me of what world I'm in. Absolutely. And they were like, right now, and the answer there, because right now we couldn't, like, we're temporarily putting him here. So he's not going to stay there. Essentially, and he's going to be a future villain. Like, he's going to be, you would feel like, that's without a give. That's a small, like, you know, a setup. Like Ramsey with Theon back in season 3. Oh, like, this is a setup here for a future. But if I could say, my notes say this: the praise Hulk Hogan, and the real American song plays. I'm a real POS. Fight for the right of POS. So yeah, that was the end of the episode for me.
Was it? Did you realize there was an extra scene at the end of that episode?
No.
Yep. They gave an extra scene at the end of the episode if you kept watching, an end credit scene. It was basically the Calcutta's fingering the dad to make sure Peacemaker stays out of jail, and then Amber asked if she could keep the picture of Peacemaker. I was like, was there ever a doubt that those two were going to end up smashing?
I didn't even know that. There you go.
Yeah, you missed the extra scene. They had an extra scene in that one. You got something to go back and see if you so choose to do so.
I absolutely will. I absolutely will. I didn't even see that. And that's like that. Yeah, let's go. Okay, it's on point.
Absolutely.
I only have one note. That's on to episode 3, isn't it? Now?
Yep.
I only have one note for it, which I'll leave it for the end of it, because I think it was pretty straightforward. So I want to hear your thoughts of episode 3, my friend. As you explain it, then I have questions for you with it, because I thought it was straightforward, but you are the theory master. So.
Well, let's get into it. Peacemaker episode 3, and this one's Better Goff Dead. And the squad's gearing up for the mission when they spot Vigilante peeping out from behind the dumpster. And like, why am I liking that character so much? Like, are you a psychiatrist? Well, maybe I am, and I know it's normal. Like, every time he speaks, it pretty much makes me smile.
Yeah, because it's so ridiculous. That's how you feel. That you know what you enjoy that, yeah? Because you're a theory sociopath, yeah. When you heard their theories back years ago about Game of Thrones and how way off we all were in the community, you were just like, you know what, that's pretty cute, and that's why we're mates. It's like you just enjoy that type of stuff, that lower intelligence on this expertise, and you see that. It's like you are here, and you know he's that Game of Thrones community theory. That's what you like him. You're like, oh, that's adorbs. That's adorbs. Not even adorable. It's adorb with a Z. That's how you see us. That's what you like him.
Oh, what I love is how this crew thinks they're the good guys and their mission is to assassinate a U.S. senator, but have zero interest in the guy dressed up in a gimp suit wanting for multiple murders. Like, you don't have time for him? You're going after this guy? Like, what?
Because he's a joke. Like, I think that's what they try and push in your face, isn't it? Because when they said it in one of the earlier episodes where it's like, there's a vigilante out there. And it kind of sounded like Batman. But then obviously, vigilante, it's like, no, it's legit. Like, very good. You know, he went out of his way to call him vigilante because that's what they used to call Batman. Like, I think, I could be wrong. Like, that's all I got from it. It's like, oh, DC, they're talking about Batman. And then, no, essentially, no, there's a dude, as you said, in a gimp suit called Vigilante. That's who they're talking about. like, all right, fair play.
It's amazing. And I love the deep cuts. Like, why does everybody that thinks wrestling is real think climate change is a hoax? Like, Peacemaker's like, yeah, like Facebook's lying to me every day for no reason. Just Jesus.
That was nice, though. Nice. I give John props for that one. It's like, yeah, take that. You've been talking smack for 2 episodes now. Take that.
Everyone got a good laugh when Leota accidentally put her wife's VJ on display. Like, it's so funny how literal Peacemaker gets. Leota tries to roast him back, but it just rolls off his shoulders. Like, I'm not even from Milwaukee. Like, that whole scene in the truck was amazing.
That's why when you were asking me about their relationship, they went on to say, well, WhatsApp pictures we're trying to make from a distance. And it's like, yeah.
Peacemaker still laughing and said, like, that is a weird segue. Like, oh, so perfect. Which made me laugh out loud. But he was done laughing when Myrn reminded him about killing the senator. It really seems like Peacemaker's kind of over the killing people thing because someone tells him to do it, like, especially with kids. It just seems like he really doesn't want to kill anyone. Which, again, is a deep cut through the movie, which you haven't seen yet, so it's not quite so hard. But, yeah, I mean, he was just the total assassin in the movie, and now he seems like he really wants to leave that life behind.
You know, when you say that, it's now you bring me, because, yeah, you reminded me there, I was watching, I watched the second episode. I was dropping my parents to do shopping, then I was dropping one of my friends, they had to pick up stuff in one of the garages, and I know, you know yourself, parents or family and friends, they take ages, when they say it'll be 10 minutes, so like, I have a little TV in the car, so that's where I started, for copyright reasons, I pay for my subscription. Anyways, watch the paid subscription in the car. And what I noticed is when you say the vigilante story is I was watching that and it made me think is, do you think that what he got locked up for, and what Peacemaker got locked up for, when you see what happens in the house when Vigilante takes that, which we will get there, but do you think maybe that happened with Peacemaker and obviously Amanda with Waller, she wanted like Peacemaker locked, if she knew it was Vigilante that did it, let's say it was a house arrest or whatever, and Vigilante, maybe Peacemaker went in, but he didn't kill or smash them, maybe he subdued them, and then Vigilante was like, well, no, these have to die. Bang, 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 bang. And then Amanda Weller came in like, well, we need him more than we need you, so I'm going to put the blame on you, which goes with the theory, so I can recruit you. And there's going to be a plot twist that was actually, the reason why he was locked up was actually because of Vigilante's actions, and Peacemaker actually, he's too dumb to know that he actually took the rap for it. Do you know what I mean?
I see where you're going. It could be. But I don't think Amanda Waller's dumb enough to fall for that. And I think if she knew what was up, she would have grabbed Vigilante.
No, but that's why she's so smart, because she's like, I can actually rap him for this. Like who's the bigger asset, Vigilante or Peacemaker? It's like, no, actually, I can actually use what he did against you and get you in a cell, which is where now I can use you to do what I need to do.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I got you. Yeah.
You get me? Like right. Vigilante fucked him up. Vigilante really did it. Amanda Weller knew that he really did it, but it's like, no, we get to lock you up for it because I can recruit you. Do you get me? It's pandering on our cleverness, not our
yeah, I get that. I like that a lot, actually.
But I went deep because that's what I thought. Vigilante fucked him. He fucked him.
When he told Leota that he was an ally, and she said, like, having a lesbian haircut does not make you an ally. Right. And he said, check my porn folder, 400 gigs of alliance in there, dude. I was like, Lord.
That was great. Good shit.
Oh my god, I was absolutely on the floor with that
one. I literally just have here lesbian haircut trending. Like that's all I have. So, yeah, I'm with you on that. That was killer. That was killer.
And then Peacemaker then freaks out about not having his dove of peace drawn on his weapon, and like, isn't that detail one of those things that the people in charge should have known about if he's going to be that anal about it? Or is he just making it up because it's just one more excuse not to have to try to kill somebody because he doesn't have that?
Well, you could see, wasn't it, when he was drawing the dove and he was like, it looks like a ghost. Like, it just looked, he was going out of his way to be out of character. Like, he was so out of character that he was like, oh, shit, fuck. Like, if anything, what he was saying to me was, I think I'm a good human being and I don't know what to do here. And that's it comes out, oh, shit, fuck, oh, no, can't do that. Do you know what I mean? He's like not the Hulk, because the Hulk turns back into Bruce Banner at the end of the day, and it's like, whoa, do you know what I mean? Whereas, yeah, I think he's a decent human being looking for a I think he's an actual superhero. He doesn't know, he's not being led right. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like, and that's what it is. What's happening here is he's being given these horrible fucking missions, and which makes it an exciting show. But he's a good lad. I think he's a good lad. Just shy. Just shy. He's no social skills. Or world knowledge.
Yep. Socially awkward. Speaking of socially awkward, Myrn tells Johns he's never shared a feeling before, and we thought he was just messing with him, but it seems he was telling the truth. He also said he's becoming a more well-rounded man. Are the butterflies like evolving while using humans as cocoons, do you think?
See, I think I'm only on episode 3, DJ. Relax. Yeah, relax. I just seen a butterfly in episode 3 for the first time. I was like, John, that's a butterfly.
Oh, feel
that's deep. If anything, like you were saying about Myrn, like specifically, wasn't he saying he had a conversation? I was like, how can you never say it's not chilly? Like that was a bit of a weird convo, but it's like on that, it made me think. I don't think he's human. I don't think he's a butterfly. I don't think he's human. I think there'll be some reveal about another race or something that's like not as evil. I don't know if the butterflies are even fucking evil. Like, you don't really know. All we know is these are going out here killing them, and to us it looks crazy. But like, are they really like? Is the butterflies really? Like, what are they doing? Like, sorry, I'm going deep on a comedy show. I was like, what? I've not seen any context what they're doing wrong.
What we have revealed and where you didn't go deep was into these credit scenes, because you've already showed me that you have not seen the extra credit scene in this one either. No, I didn't. When the episode ends and I'm a paid subscription TV. Yeah. You don't go to the dude. If I ever see like there's more than 3.5 minutes of credits, I always fast forward to see if there's something else. I always expect there to be something else in there.
I don't. I'm like, I want to see the next episode. It's a great song. I want to see the next episode. Okay. Great. Can you do me a favor, DJ? Uh-huh. I don't know. You can hear on the mic. I can see little ghosties powering up and down. If you give me 1 second, I'm going to let him out. Just have a quick wee. Be right back, my brother. Be right back. If anyone else is here, I'm a simpleton.
Oh, what's up, Jake? How far have you gotten into it? Did you turn it off yet, or are you still going? What have you? I can't believe. I can't believe you haven't been watching this one. I absolutely love this episode. I love this series. It is my new favorite series. Now that The Boys is over, this is definitely my new favorite series on. Absolutely fantastic. Oh yeah, about an hour into it, still watching it. Oh, I just got through episode 1. There you go. Well, don't be like Johnny and miss the extra credit scenes in episode 2 and 3. Make sure you see it all. Absolutely. Yeah, this is amazing. I didn't really, like I said, you guys know I don't do the comic books or anything like that, but this episode is amazing. It's got to be hard for Johnny, though. We got to get him to watch that second Suicide Squad movie because, yeah, I mean, it's like I said, he's a whole different character in that. So to really appreciate the 180-degree flip that he does. Definitely. Oh, what's not going to happen? You don't think he's going to see it? Oh, I'm going to keep it going. I can't believe they just put out the other. I haven't seen episode 6. I've seen episodes 1 through 5. They just put out 6 came out today at midnight. So I haven't seen that one yet, but yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Oh, what's up, Dragon? Got to get ready for your stream with Andy. Need a fresh books to a wheel. Oh, need to refresh on book 2 of the wheel. Definitely, yeah, man. I got to get into that. I haven't read the books. I haven't seen the movies. I don't know anything about it. But yeah, this is we're just doing 1 through 3, and we're on episode 3. So we'll definitely peep in there and jump in and say hey to you guys, see what's up. I'll have no idea what you're talking about, but we'll be there showing the love. Feel it. I won't miss the extra scenes. Nope, definitely got to see those. Yeah, like I said, man, if I see like there's 3.5 minutes left on it here and credits, I always fast forward. No matter what I'm watching, I just always think they're gonna be that. Like was that Ferris Bueller who did it first, or did Marvel take it from Ferris Bueller, or was there even something earlier than that we got our first extra scene in? I think that's the first thing I remember is like, or was that just Deadpool acting like Ferris Bueller? I'm thinking of. But no, Ferris Bueller did it. Like he went over. He's like, the show's over. I thought he did. Man. Now I'm getting the two mixed up. I got to go back in there and check that one out. Oh yeah, BZJD. Like I said, we'll definitely talk to you in a few. As soon as he comes back, we'll just wrap up the rest of this one and keep her moving. And we might even. I got to play poker tonight, but we might be doing a little extra, just a mess around after this one for a little bit. So we'll see what's up. And he's back. He's back. He's back.
You know, I know I'm in a DJ stream when I hear I got to do poker tonight. It's like, oh, man, brother.
Oh, man, right back at it. Our team's set up outside the Senator's home, but when it comes time to terminate, Peacemaker can't do it. Like, lucky for him, Vigilante ended up showing up, and he had no problem pulling the trigger. Unlucky for him, Judo Master showed up and started kicking the crap out of everybody before he could finish the job, though. What'd you think of that little green character?
That's not his name. Is his name Judo Master?
Yeah.
Canon. I was looking at him saying, man, it looks like a kid dressing up as Kick-Ass. Do you know that movie? Do you remember that superhero movie Kick-Ass, like in the little green outfit and the batons? I was like, man, he's dressing as Kick-Ass. And the ironic thing about the Kick-Ass movie is he had a little sidekick who was like a little girl in pink, and she actually messed everybody up. So that kind of reminded me of her. Like, yeah, he messed people up, and Vigilante said, no, fair fight, you won, and he just keeps punching. Oh,
it was on after that.
DJ, can I ask you why he obviously seen the 3 of them? Yeah, Harcourt was there as well because he messed all of them up. Why did he just take 2 of them? Like, why did he leave her?
Well, he ended up punching her, didn't he?
Yeah, that's what.
I see. Why did he take those 2 and leave her? That's a good question. Maybe because there's only 2 of them, so that's all they could grab. Judo Master grabbed one. The Senator grabbed the other one. There wasn't a third person to grab Harcourt, so maybe they just figured they'd do better with the 2 guys.
But do you think he'd not say that to him, saying, here, there's a chick out there dressed like Black Widow? And we didn't.
Plot convenience. She's got that plot armor. She couldn't get taken.
So you're with me on that. It's like, man, you should have taken her too. You're with me. She should have been taken.
Absolutely.
Carry on for that.
Fair play. And everyone on the crew is taking a shot saying how shitty a person Amanda Waller is. Do they already know that Leota's her daughter and that's why they're saying that? They're just kind of messing with her, or are they still in the dark on that, do you think?
I think they're in the dark. Why release it? You get the kind of the flow of the story, the shock, the emotional scene. Oh my god, I thought we were doing a low key job, but she put her daughter with us. That means she rates us highly. Like this, I see that taking a positive twist. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, like they all still feel like a POS for what they're doing. If they knew that her daughter was with them, I don't think they'd feel like a POS. Like.
Could be. Yeah, that's definitely going to play out. We're going to get that answer before the season's over, I'm sure. And of course, it's inevitable, but it looked like while on the stakeout, Harcourt was actually softening on Peacemaker. Like, we already know she thinks he's cute. Like, I don't know, again, are they going to end up smashing at some point?
Yeah, me and you, I think we both have our opinions there, and I think I stand by my opinion, but I also can see your opinion happening. I think we're 50-50. Would that be fair? On what I think will happen, they'll hook up and then they'll break away. You're like they'll play it, but like it won't be anything. I think we're near enough on point. I don't see that happening.
Oh, Kick-Asses are great movies.
You have to watch that, DJ. You have to watch Kick-Ass, and you will see that little green midget as a proper human. Shout out to small people. I mean, reminds me of puberty. If I was still small, I'd call it my superhero name would be Puberty. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I didn't even notice until the second watch through, but when Harcourt said that they're pouring some kind of goo into bowls, Myrn instantly said they're butterflies. Harcourt said, "How do you know?" and Myrn didn't answer. Was that like the biggest clue that maybe he himself is a butterfly?
No, because he confirmed. He confirmed it. What I think is, right? Come with me here. Now, I'm going to take you on a journey. This is like 5 years back in the day. That's a nostalgia moment here. Except I'm DJ and you're me. So you have to take your cap off and fluff your hair a bit. And I have to speak crazy theories, which is what I have. Right? So let's pretend, I'm going to make a name up here. Let's pretend Myrn is from Alien Phazon. Yeah, mad name, yeah? Phazon. I'm just making up a name here. He's an alien Phazon who's assimilated and integrated into human society. Maybe his alien race isn't into taking over. It's about assimilating and understanding. And that's why he went through the ranks to being MIA, you know, all that good stuff, and being a secret agent. And then you have the butterflies. Maybe they were in conflict with the butterflies. I know DJ's gone, but I'm already in second gear, man. You know, man, I can't just hit that hard break. So maybe this made-up alien Phazon, yeah, which is what Myrn is. Insert real canon name when they say it. Is in conflict with the butterflies in a different space, crazy dimension. Because it's superheroes we're talking about. You can easily throw out that crazy space dimension. I've seen a butterfly insect jump out of someone's face. I'm like, anything can happen here. So Myrn is alien Phazon. Assimilate and understand, and the butterflies are assimilate and dominate. So I think he's a different. I'm calling it. I think Myrn is an alien, but of a different race, and maybe his race is at war with the butterflies, which is why he called out that butterflies. Like that's a fucking butterfly. Man. So that's my mad.
So you think they were like warring someplace else, and then they both came here and continued their war from someplace else here on Earth?
Yeah, I think he's making up that name Phazon just to put
right,
it
in.
Yeah, and it's like they're butterflies, and I think they were at conflict on different planets in a different world, or maybe how far they extend. And that's it. And I think his way is to assimilate and understand. I think his alien race is assimilate and understand, and the butterfly race is assimilate and control, which is why he's seen that tongue come out like that's a butterfly, or he couldn't see it, he heard it. That's a butterfly. Which it makes sense as to why he would know that, because he's of a different alien race that probably got actually destroyed by the butterflies. You don't know. But he definitely has experience with the butterflies that is a non-human. So I think he's an alien.
I love that analysis of that whole entire situation. I think that's amazing.
It makes sense.
It does. It absolutely makes sense. I love it. I love that. And yep, he basically, I mean, maybe even they were both here. They both just came to Earth and there can be only one. And like, no, our species is already here. You can't start taking over people's brains. We need that. Like, we were here first. You guys got to go type of situation.
Yeah, and they can't let each other know because then the only thing humans have is numbers. So it's like we can't let them know or we're both fucked because they see us both as a threat. So it's a civil war behind the scenes.
Jake says, "Go have your war elsewhere. We have our own problems there."
Facts, mate. It's facts, Jake. Facts. Look after your own backyard before you invite people in. Facts. But what do you do when there's two big alien grasshoppers and an alien cockroach fighting on your porch? It's like, what do you do? What do you do?
So Judo Master knocks out all three of them, and he and the Senator take Peacemaker and Vigilante inside for some questioning. And why was Harcourt trying so hard to get Leota to kill that Secret Service man? Like, when it was easy enough for her to just grab his gun and do it herself.
Yeah, I believe. Do you remember when they were all questioning each other on who leaked the information? Yeah, I believe that was for test, because that never really got answered. You know, she never really answered it. You know, when it was called on Leota, she never really answered it. Like, if you look at that scene, never really answered. I only watched it once, but that's what I got. I was waiting on her answer. I was like, I didn't really get an answer. I got a different scene, but I didn't really get your answer. And I think she's still, with her character, as they point out, cold to the core. I was too much little girl for a big gun. You know, it's like she's got that mentality. Where I think she was tested her. The whole time she could have dropped them. But the real problem I have with that scene is that was another human being. And you had no problem killing them, Harcourt. You're a piece of shit.
Yeah,
are we gonna skip that? Yeah, we're gonna skip that. Like,
yeah, you're gonna say Peacemaker's just a murder in POS, but yet here you are, like, ready to drop somebody at the drop of a dime. So,
and he's talking about his daughters, his name, and now if that was an alien, obviously you're thinking maybe that's a good story, but you find out it's not. Right. And like, he was a human being. Like, so what he was saying was the truth, and like her as Leota as a human being. Like, how can I do this? Being, like, I wouldn't say a good or a bad person, just like having a soul. It's like, I can't do that. So yeah.
That also answers your question from earlier, though. So maybe the Senator told that bodyguard, "Hey, there's another body out there. Go grab it." And so maybe that's why he showed up to go grab her, and then that situation happened.
Nice. Show her his wish for a man like you. Let me tell you sometimes. Nice. Okay, I'll accept that. That's great. And I bet you they didn't even think about that.
It just happened that way for the scene to go down.
Yeah, I think you've covered them in a way where, like, you should be hired. You know, in that sense. Where it's like, I would accept that. Where it's like, yeah, okay. You've covered them.
How was Peacemaker going to talk all that shit to that little man and then ask for some of his Cheetos?
yeah, it was good. I'm not gonna lie, Reese. I put you in my pocket and you played me G.I. Joes. But don't what do you say? Don't have sex with me, Chewbacca, because the best thing about that scene was we got some Star Wars canon. Apparently, the species of Chewbacca, the Wookiees, they have teeth on their arse. So that was the most important thing about that scene. I learned some new Star Wars canon. Didn't know that.
Oh, the rest of the squad head into the house to save Peacemaker, but didn't realize there was a secret basement. And then the Senator told Judo Master to get to Glen Ty and tell them what happened here. Is Glen Ty going to basically be the alien home base, do you think?
I did not know what that was. What is Glen Ty? I have that in my notes, question. I just called it Glen because I couldn't remember the terminology. I'm clueless on it.
It's one of their bases, and that's basically, I think, not really a spoiler, but basically, I think it's their main food source hub. That's the place that makes their food, that goo that they were all putting their tongue into the bowl. Gotcha. I think that's the place that makes that. But I mean, it could be even deeper. Like maybe that's what they make, but it's also like their main base, like their main alien headquarters for them. And
if I can ask you, is because we're going from 1 to 3 here. So if it's spoiler, you just mark it off as spoiler, shut it down. Is so far as you are and everybody else is, like, is the butterflies really a threat? Like, I'm not seeing anything why they're a threat. Right now, they're just defending themselves. You know, that's all I'm getting.
Other than they're taking over people's bodies and basically, body snatchers. That would kind of bug me if some alien life form jumped into my body and started guiding me to do what they wanted me to do.
Artie, so did I skip a beat? Like, see, I'm ignorant. Probably this is why you wanted me to review the show. It's like, I am Peacemaker without the superhero abilities. An absolute dumbass.
I mean, remember at the end of this show, they shoot him in the face and a butterfly flew out of it. So obviously they're snatching our bodies and using us as hopes.
Yeah, but was that an original human body?
Oh, there you go. It could be. Maybe it's not that. Maybe they're. But no, because the senator, already saw that the senator and his family. So you think they're just clones and they're not even real people?
But that's my whole thing about the whole when I made up the alien race phase on. It's like maybe they integrated, where it's like they integrate themselves, incubate themselves, like as children to adults to adolescents studying us, and then they put themselves in positions to get that goth fella the job as senator.
I love
And
that.
so it's all an implant. So that's what I'm saying. Is like, is that like did that butterfly actually take over that body and do that, or was it like organically made that way? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, maybe maybe that's just it. Maybe they're not taking over humans. Maybe they are, like you said, just they're forming that way, or maybe they have their own clone bodies, or yeah, maybe they're just finding a way to grow that way. I love that take. I like that. Thinking outside the box.
Well, maybe it's just me being a simpleton, but it's like that's what when I seen that happen, which we'll get to. But it's like when I seen that happen, I was thinking like, oh yeah, like that was your body that you lived in for years. Or so, you know what I mean?
And we haven't even touched on it yet, but how are you feeling about that opening dance scene montage that they do every time?
It's great. The first time you watch it, like, oh, it gives you the level what you're about to watch now. To be fair, the first time you watch it does not give credit to the show because you're going, oh, this is stupid, you know, all this stupid. It's like, this is going to be stupid. You know what I mean? And it's like, if you can get past the intro of the first episode, it's actually all right. You know, that's where I stand. And then when the second episode hits and you're invested, I'm like, that's chill. I'm waiting for that now. I've only watched 3 episodes so far, and I've heard the song 5 times. How about that for Mats? Yeah, I've rewound that bad boy twice. It's a banger. And to see Harcourt, you know, as serious as a character as she is, doing this. You know, like I'm at a series where like you're a serious character who's cold as shit. I'm just coming out doing this. I was like, it's very, yeah. It's like, what's going on here?
100% on the same wavelength with you. When I first saw it, I was like, okay, Hollywood trope, they're dancing, need to waste time filler or whatever. But exactly, once you get through it and you start getting invested, you're like, this is amazing. And then, of course, then you got to take it like a step further. Like, so what are they insinuating that maybe the butterflies end up taking all them over, and it's the butterflies making them act like that and dance like that? Like, that'd be kind of crazy. So yeah, I don't know. It's just it's an
DJ. That is absolute crazy, man.
There's no way it goes down like that.
I've not dropped the C word for 2 years, man, and you made me drop the C word. Bleep that out. I don't talk like that anymore. It's but yeah, you managed to bring that with your theories. My God. Yeah, your theories, DJ's theories are amazing for the record. But it's like they're so off the wall crazy, but it's like they work. You know, that's the thing. But on that one, 200% no. You crazy. You know, so the butterfly. No, it's people having fun, making a great intro song and a great intro. You know, it's America being America. You know, just flamboyant out there. We don't care. You know, that's what I got from. Is like, we don't care. We're stereotypical. We've an American driving a red striped car with Eagly, an eagle named Eagly. You know what I'm saying? That's what I said. It's just America being America.
Oh, it's awesome. And did you notice out of all the crew, it was Leota who found the secret door? Like, more and more, we're starting to see that she actually does have the skills that her mother's always talking about.
Yeah, what do you think our skills are? Because I don't get it right now. Like
I said, I think it's just being able to get through a whole pile and finding a needle in a haystack with the information she's given. I think she's able to break stuff down and figure things out like that.
So what actual skill, like what skill bracket would that fall into? Like help me, just so I understand. I get what you're saying and I'm with you, but just so I can like break into a category. So she's like,
she may be the one, like they might not know what's going on with all this butterfly stuff, but I think she's going to be the one that's going to get the information and help crack the case on what's really happening with all of it. I think that's her skill, is being able to figure stuff out.
Is she like Samwise? Like not Samwise, shout out to Samwise. Is she Samuel Tarly of this, where they figure it out? Do you know what I'm
saying? Yeah, kind of a
Sherlock Holmes. Yeah, I love how you just dismiss Samuel Tarly. Like, man,
yeah, Samuel Tarly, sure.
Drop some respect on Samuel Tarly's name. It's Sherlock Holmes. Fuck Samuel. Like, I said Samwise, man. Samwise is one of the best characters of all time. But yeah,
man, that's another stream.
But you can that is another long stream. Let me tell you. But you believe her deductions and Sherlock Holmes. I'm with you on that. That's our thing. How can they, like, I'm interested. how you will explain that as a skill, because she obviously has to do some masterful shit that's more than that to be like that's worth being. You know, that's light for me. That's light because it looked like she was lucky. She was go crack, and then she was just hitting upon luck. If she was like, if they wanted to make that look like she was deducing this, she would have standing back and been like, oh, and then it would have been a one click. Do you know what I mean? Like, boom. But it sounded like she was just luckily wavering kind of thing and just hitting stuff like that.
Her superpower is realizing her girl would be happier with me.
Jake says, it's pretty funny. I'm sorry.
Jake says, I he wasn't a superpower. It is in some situations. How about Vigilante contorting his face so no one will be able to pick him out of a lineup?
That's class. That's class. I love that. Sorry. I was even looking at him saying, what are you doing? And then he's like, oh, it's kind of like he was answering my question. I was like, oh, good talk.
And then Leota didn't seem very smart, however. Like when she decided to lick that sticky bomb before sticking it to the door, like what I thought was, she's like, what? I thought it was like an envelope. Like, why is everybody on this team so dumb? Does Waller want them to fail? Or, I mean, did she put these idiots together for a reason?
That's a question I wanted to ask you. I don't think Mirren is an idiot. I think he's an alien from a different planet who knows what the butterflies are, for the record. Yeah, that's where I stand on that, yeah?
You think Amanda Waller knows he's an alien?
Yeah. I think that's why she put her daughter in that company, because she knows that he knows what they are capable of, what the butterflies are capable of. So putting her beside Mirren is probably the safest option. You know, from a strategist point of view, if I want to keep my daughter safe, which you don't believe she gives a fuck, I believe she does. So to go with my whole theory is she's going to put her beside someone who actually knows what these are. Do you know what I mean? Man, this dude is turning around and saying, I don't know what chill is. I don't know what feeling chilly is. Man, you're an alien, you man. Straight up. You're telling us you're an alien. That's not a plot twist. You're basically, these seeds that you're dropping are too much. They are sprouting straight away. You're an alien. You're an alien. And you also have a problem with the butterflies. Oh, they're sticking the tongues out. That's a butterfly. You know what I mean? Come on, DJ. It's there. It's in your face. So when she's licking all that stuff, he's looking at her saying, what the hell? And the reason why she's there is like, I don't know why she's there, because if Amanda Weller gave a crap about her daughter, she'd be away from all of that. Like, so yeah. I don't know. Maybe she wants her daughter to replace her. So by putting her in these situations with the best of the best, like, it will give her experience while keeping her safeguarded. I don't know. She's licking shit and sticking it on walls. I don't know, DJ. Like, just to answer that question, I don't know. Maybe it's to try and humanize the character. That's all I can get.
And then Peacemaker figures out that Vigilante is actually his friend's little brother and tells him not to worry. He's not giving up anything. And Vigilante's like, maybe you could give up a little something. Like, oh, just sitting there watching him get tortured. That was amazing.
Oh, good, yeah. I'll never talk. Take everything. It's like, it's good, because he's like, it's not me. It's good. And he's like, I'm not a superhero, man. That was great.
And when he was going to town on Vigilante's toe, like, that was getting to me a little bit. Like, even though I know he so deserved it, like, that was getting a little gruesome.
What about his line? They say when they cut your toe off, you can't stand right for the rest of your life. You waver. Those are good lines. I agree that there was some good lines. Vigilante under punishment is hilarious.
And then upstairs, Mern's app is acting up, and it won't blow up the bomb. Meanwhile, Vigilante's realizing like just how dull the butterfly's knife is. He's like, "Do you ever sharpen this thing?" Oh, poor guy's going through it.
And you know what?
What's
Sorry, that? DJ, can I touch just upon that? Please continue, brother. But like, I have a quote from episode 1 that I thought was cool, and the fact you said about did you ever sharpen that thing? You know, in episode 1, I've one comment. I brushed by it because you're having too much fun with it. But it's like, I remember Amanda Weller always said, the quality, she was talking about Peacemaker when they said, why did you assign us with this? And she said, the quality of the blade doesn't matter as long as it's sharp. She said that as in called him a dumbass once it's sharp. And now to go with that comment that you said, it just kind of hit me head, going like, is there a little toy in there?
Sick little callback, absolutely. And then didn't you just know that the door was going to blow as soon as Mern got close to it? Like, I mean, that was kind of a Hollywood trope. You knew as soon as he got closer, the thing was about to blow up in his face.
Yeah, what were they doing with that? Can you tell me, DJ, just from a, like, because we know what happens afterwards. So what were they doing with that? In my opinion, I was like, are they knocking Mern out of it now? And then later on, like, he'll be in a coma or something, and the story will carry on. Then he'll have something to reveal. That's why they had to knock him out of the game. obviously because he's an alien and knows what the butterflies are. And then he just like gets up and like not gets up like everything is okay, but I'm like, what was the point of that whole knockback? You know, when you're writing a story, you know yourself when you were doing a theory, that's to be a reason for this type of stuff. So why would you do that? Essentially, he got up and not that he was okay, but he's gonna rock on. So why did you do that?
So maybe to show that he does have super strength, and there is something, just one more clue that there's something off about this guy.
I'm telling you, DJ, I'm calling him, and even 3 episodes in, he's an alien.
I like it. This gives Peacemaker the opportunity to leap into action, and he's ready to go. And outside, Judo Master thinks he's getting away, but Economos isn't having it. He rams him with the van, and the crash only half does it as Judo Master tries to crawl away, but John wasn't having that either. And he just starts to whack him unconscious with a crowbar. Like, those squishy noises that it was making as he was whacking him in the head, like, it was starting to get a little much, too.
I was uncomfortable watching that.
Yeah. Oh, it's just a step too far. And then inside, Peacemaker unties Vigilante while the ladies make their way down, and we see a butterfly crawl out of that senator's blown-up face. And I know if I saw that thing crawl out of my body, like, I would have been playing no games. I'd have shot the shit out of that butterfly.
Why did he not react? Like, what was like? That's what I want to ask you. So I have no answer to that question that you may ask me. So I want to flip it on you. Like, why did he just look at it?
Oh, he was in awe. Like, he couldn't believe what he was seeing. Like, you see an alien for the first time, you're probably going to stop and stare. Like, I think I would figure it would awe you.
Okay. At least I have some kind of reason for my head. I just couldn't get my head around. I was like, why are you just looking? It reminded me of, do you remember, was the Independence Day where the little alien is in the head? You know, this is like what's going on here? I don't know if it's Independence Day or something, because the alien's actually peaceful. It wasn't Independence Day. It's another movie where it's an alien in the head, and they open up the face, they touch the face, and it opens up, and the alien is out of breath. And I was like, oh, peaceful. That alien was peaceful. Like, so this little motherfucker tried to kill you, tortured you.
I know.
Oh, butterfly.
And if nothing else, John was super stoked to finally get in on some action, taking out Judo Master. But again, like, he just went overboard. And like we said, we don't know, like, what did they really done? Like, these butterflies could be peaceful. Like, the only reason that chick attacked Peacemaker is because she read the docket that they were going to go kill somebody. And she's like, oh, we can't let you kill one of our... So...
And with that, I'm on that page. I'm like, what did I ask you that question when we were going into episode 2? Right now, I cannot see what the butterflies have actually done. Do you know what I mean? Now, you can say they took over a senator role, or they were looking for a position of power. But then, like, if you really want to go deep, humans look for a position of power. That's why they're senator roles. We made them. Do you know what I mean? Like, we made that role. So, like, why is it so alien that someone else comes in to take that position too? Do you get me? Like, that's a deep one, but it's like, I do not understand what they did other than looking weird. Do you know what I mean? It's like, everybody looks weird.
Absolutely. And then back in the van, we see that the computer screens that there are tens and thousands of suspected butterflies all over the world. So this isn't a one-off. They are basically all over the world. So are they taking over the world? Are they taking over humans? Like, we don't know what's happening or what's going to happen or where that's going. But that's incredible.
The most important... sorry, DJ. My brother, please continue on. But the most important thing, I watched that scan, and I was looking at my country, Little Ireland, yeah? And there was no red dots in Ireland. There was one in England. Yes, don't trust them. There was one. That could be the Prime Minister. There was none in Ireland. I'm just saying. I know it's irrelevant, but if you really watch that scan scene, yeah, I put my... I wear my chest saying this, which means I put my 100% on the line bets, which normally are more chilled. There was no little red dots in Ireland. I watched that. When they put that scan, I was like, oh, where's Ireland? There was none. We're clean, brother. So it doesn't matter. Once Ireland is clean, sorry.
Oh, and last but not least, it doesn't matter because you basically haven't seen the extra scenes. So we almost got to save those for next time.
Can you not just tell me?
In the extra scene, Harcourt tells Vigilante if he fucks up this mission that she'll kill his whole family, and he's like, "It's too late for that." I was like, "Wait a minute, has he already killed his own family?"
I've seen that. Sorry, I've seen that. It. When you were saying I watched that scene, but when you were quoting, you have to re-quote me. I've seen that where she said, "Yeah, like I already did that."
Well, there you go. So you think he's killed his whole family? I mean, is he that much of a sociopath?
No, he's full of shit because he had a conversation with Peacemaker and he was like, oh, you were that nerdy Dungeons and Dragons part. It's like, oh, you toned up, you're still wiry, you toned up. He's given all that. It's like, if he killed us, but then would Peacemaker know? It's like, Peacemaker, I don't think he would. So I don't think he'd be aware. Like, yeah, he wouldn't. So maybe it is true. Because Peacemaker would absolutely be able, he'd know that little information, but he wouldn't know, like, because he's an idiot. Like.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's probably true. Probably did. I don't think he did. I think he's full of shit. I think Vigilante is full of shit.
A little bit of spoiler maker. We'll find out a little bit more later. So, yeah, we'll be talking about that on the next one. This was just the first 3 episodes, and we'll be coming back talking about the next 3 episodes. I want to thank my guests for coming back out of retirement and doing this one. This was a long one. Probably going to shorten it up a little bit for the next one, but it's been amazing. We had to give it all it was worth and deserved on this one, bringing the Wildling himself back out of retirement. Oh, I want to thank you for coming back on, brother.
My brother, as I say, when DJ Woman offers you a chance to be like, do you want to stream with me? I had no idea what the stream would be, and it's like, yeah, just before I know what's Peacemaker. You know, that's literally my question still. It's like, I will watch that for you, and that's how much of a cool dude to me that DJ is. And yeah, it was a long one. I'll be more quick with me bullet points too. As I was a bit nervous, to be honest with you, as you wrap up here. I'm never nervous about live stream. Been out for 2 years, but it's like to do it like this, there's no better man than to be doing it with. So respect that. I'm more than humbled, my brother, and I'll be seeing you next week for the next one. And it's good to see anybody who watches this. It's good to see us, and I'll have a video out in the future. As if I can DJ, I don't think anyone's gonna watch it this far, so it's already
we're already good. Yeah.
This would be the safe way to drop every horrible word ever. Is never. But it's like, yeah, there will be one more video out on my channel. I am retired, but there will be one more video, and it's more or less the decimation of Johnny and the ascension of John. And what it'll do is actually it's literally a documentary which will have many videos of all the trials and tribulations I've gone through over the 2 years. And it's literally just an insight onto like who I am. You know me as Johnny, the cheeky blah blah. But it's like it's an insight onto who I am. So it's literally the decimation of Johnny. You know, the persona title. Not that it's fake, but it's the ascension of John, which is who I am. Like, and I'll be putting that one out randomly within this year. And to just come on and do a live with DJ though it's humbling, and it was I don't believe in fate or destiny, for the record, but it felt like that when you sent me that message, because I felt like I wanted to talk. And so thank you, brother.
Absolutely. Look forward to doing another one and another one and another one. We're definitely going to get out of here, but definitely keep your eyes open. Not sure exact date, but we will get back at you and let you know we will be doing episodes 4 through 6. So I hope everybody out there is having an absolutely fantastic week, and it only gets better from here. Until we see you next one. Be easy, everybody.